overcast and cool, and snow flurries could be in the offing here in Kansas City. 30 degrees and the wind chill is 18. The lights on here at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs have averaged over 78,000 fans, and they will get the ball first. Craig Hendrick kicking off. Tamarick Vanover will run it out from the end zone for the Chiefs. And Vanover is tackled just beyond the 20-yard line. Steve Bono, the quarterback, who will hear the cheers and boos depending on how he performs today. 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Jeff Criswell starting in place of John Alt at left tackle, with Zott, Grunhard, Shields, and Sigler up front. Marcus Allen, Kimball Anders in the backfield with Chris Penn and Sean LaChapelle starting again at wide receiver. Derek Walker is the tight end. Chiefs starting from their 21. And a play action fake on first down and going deep downfield for LaChapelle. He's got it. Sean LaChapelle on a big play gets inside the Green Bay 10.
Ran right by him. So much has been talked about in Kansas City and this offense. They say we got to pound the football and we have to do all this stuff. And what does Hackett do, the offensive coordinator? He opens right up with play action. And LaChapelle just runs right by Newsome, number 21. Newsome's going to keep trying to get depth. And he bit with that little bit of play action. They underrated his speed. And that takes him down to the 15-yard line.
A 69-yard pass play. And the reaction of Steve Bono and the crowd on his side decisively. First and goal from the 10. And the Chiefs are going to call a timeout. But Sean LaChapelle starting in place of Vanover in his second year from UCLA with a big first play of the game. Timeout.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Coors Light, proud partner of the John Wayne Cancer Institute and their search for a cure. By the NASDAQ stock market. Visit www.nasdaq.com. And by 1-800-COLLECT, the way we call collect today.
Sean LaChapelle on the receiving end, and for Steve Bono, his longest completion since 1991. 69 yards to LaChapelle, and Bono went right at the Packers' strength in the secondary. Craig Newsome, their second-year cornerback. And the Chiefs, sensing a good opportunity, called a timeout. So that sets up a first and goal at the 10. Chiefs third in the NFL in the red zone offense this year. And here is Marcus Allen, who doesn't get anything. Allen already breaks one of the 3 possible records today. No gain. George Kuntz making the tackle. Packers defensively with Sean Jones, Gilbert Brown, Santana Dotson, who is hurting but playing, and Reggie White up front. Brian Williams, George Kuntz, Wayne Simmons, the linebackers. Doug Evans, Eugene Robinson, who is injured but playing, did not practice this week. Leroy Butler and Craig Newsome, who was beaten on that first pass. The other corner, Fritz Shermer, the defensive guru of the Packers. Now a second and goal at the 10 for Kansas City. Here is Marcus Allen bouncing off the line and maybe a yard. That's all. Wayne Simmons. So the linebackers make 2 strong plays off the run.
Well, if they're going to do anything in that running game, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to have strong offensive line play. When you look at this Kansas City team, that is really their strength, that offensive line. I mean, they play very, very well together. They handle stunts very well together. They come off the ball. What they don't do great is they don't get a great push and move the line of scrimmage.
Arnie Schottenheimer, the coach of the Chiefs. Kimball Anders replaces Marcus Allen on third and goal from the 9. Steve Bono flushed out of the pocket by Reggie White, and his pass knocked away, incomplete.
Boy, Leroy Butler made a great play. Leroy Butler made a tremendous play on that ball because McNair really had a touchdown.
Yes, he did.
Butler was hanging. I'll tell you what, that is a classic example of maintaining the discipline of your scheme.
That was a big defensive play after they stopped 2 runs.
I want you to watch. Butler's going to hang right out here on the outside. Now, he has a decision to make. Right here, do you come up and force it, or do you stay back? He stays back and makes the play, which saves the touchdown, which sets up this field goal attempt.
And it's Pete Stoyanovich, who's been struggling lately, a 26-yard attempt. And the kick is good, and just barely. Stoyanovich has been struggling. And Marty Schottenheimer says, I haven't watched him lately, but I'm going to watch him today. The Chiefs get 3 and lead the Packers 3-0. Kansas City Chiefs have to settle for a field goal after the big pass play on the first play. This is interesting. Brett Favre from Kill, Mississippi is 14-0 and the game time temperature is 35 or below. We're starting this game at 30 degrees or below, so he is suited to this kind of weather as he has been lately up in the tundra of Green Bay. The Kansas City kickoff is fielded by Desmond Howard of the Packers. Gets some running room. Desmond Howard brings it out past the 40-yard line. That was a 31-yard return by Howard. Good field position for Green Bay.
I want you to watch right here, Leroy Butler. Look, I'm going to give this an A+. I'm going to tell you why. As he comes outside, Butler has to make a decision. Do I come up? Look at this. Nothing here. Do I force it or do I stay back? He stays back, and then he forces the incompletion, and frankly, McNair should have had a touchdown. But because of the heads-up play of Leroy Butler, they come out of that with only 3 points.
There's Butler, who saved a touchdown, and now the Packers trying to get back, start from their 43-yard line. Mark Shimura, the tight end, in motion. Edgar Bennett doesn't get anything, and the Kansas City defense, sparked by Vaughn Booker, makes the play. Brett Favre, the MVP, having another MVP year with 25 touchdown passes to lead the league. He'll have an offensive line rookie, John Michaels, Aaron Taylor, Frank Winters, Adam Timmerman, and Earl Dotson, who's been shaken up on the right side. Bennett and Henderson the backs. Don Beebe, who's also hurting, with Terry Mickens, last week's hero, and Shimura, the tight end. Going with 3 wide receivers on 2nd and 11. Dorsey Levens, and he doesn't get much. And John Browning makes the play for the Kansas City Chiefs. As Matt mentioned, they're going to have to rely on their defensive play in this game, and they've got a fine defensive line. Booker, Dan Saliamua, Joe Phillips, and Neil Smith, one of the better pass rushers. Anthony Davis, Tracy Simeon, and Derek Thomas, who hasn't played that well as a pass rusher so far. Darren Anderson is in for James Hasty at cornerback. Collins, Washington, and Carter. Carter's a good one. Brings up 3rd and 9 for Green Bay. Going with 4 wide receivers is Brett Favre. Under pressure, and he flips it out to Derek Mays, and the rookie from Notre Dame has a Green Bay first down into Kansas City territory, picking up 13 yards in the process.
I want you to watch the Green Bay Packers' best offensive lineman, best running game, and best quarterback all rolled into one. He's number 4, and he's Brett Favre. Because he has a feel for that pocket, he steps up and he's able to find Mays, who does a nice job of finding the hole in that zone and then running with the catch afterwards.
James Hasty is in the lineup. Did not start because of a hamstring problem, but he's in there now. First down on the Kansas City 44. And out of the backfield, Terry Mickens fumbles, and Mark Collins had a shot at it, and instead it is recovered by the Packers. But Collins was right there and could have had the fumble recovery, and Mickens, I believe, picked it up.
You know, you look at this game and you say, all right, the Kansas City defense plays outstanding run defense. They pressure the quarterback. They do all these different things. Now, we can defend all the things the Packers give us, but we can't defend Brett Favre. He's the wild card in this game because he has the live arm. He's able to find open receivers like this and buy time with his feet.
Anthony Morgan, number 84, is in for Mickens at wide receiver, split to the left. 1st and 10 on the 30 of KC. Favre's under pressure, screen pass off the hand of Dorsey Levens, and that will bring up 2nd and 10.
All right, watch the way they have lost their receivers and the way Favre is playing. I think 2 things have to be said. I think this guy right here, Mike Holmgren, has been calling exceptional games, and I think he's one of the top game callers in the league. And then I think you also have to credit Gil Haskell, the receivers coach, along with Sherman Lewis, for getting those receivers ready to play week in and week out. That's not an easy thing to do.
It's amazing how they haven't really skipped a beat with the backup receivers in there. 2nd down and 10. William Henderson. Make it Edgar Bennett. Bennett on the carry, gets good yardage.
Dick, you said it right. William Henderson with the block. Yeah, and that kid's really turned it. You know, Howie Long loves this guy, William Henderson. It's easy to see why. William Henderson's a big guy, 250 pounds. What he does very well is he brings the hammer. Boy, he will just brilliant. What he has to get better at is he has to learn how to block. He knows how to hit, but he has to learn how to change things up, cut you, use the outside shoulder, finesse when you have to.
Blocking and hitting, two different things.
Absolutely.
Third down and 3. Favre with a quick release. Keith Jackson, the tight end, and that will be good enough for a Green Bay first down inside the 20. Brian Washington, the strong safety, wrestled him down, but Jackson had the sticks.
Did you see Chamora after that? Everybody's jumping on him. Chamora just doing his Frankenstein imitation over there, just trying to push people around. It's such a difference with both these 88 and 89. Jackson, you see, the finesse guy, runs the pass patterns better, a little faster. Now watch Chamora at the end. See, Chamora saying, look, I'm not going to let you give anything up. He's a big physical guy, and Holmgren uses both of them very well.
Packers on their first offensive drive of the game have the ball on the Chiefs 19. Pass up the middle of Chamora inside the 10. And it could be another first down, and it is for Green Bay as Mark Collins and Tracy Simeon make the tackle, and it looks like the tight ends could factor heavily in the offensive plan for the Packers today.
Yeah, and I hate to beat this thing, but this is Holmgren, the way he calls the game. I think there's 4 guys in this league who call exceptional games that I have seen. Mike Holmgren is right there, along with Norv Turner, I think Lindy Infante, and Mike Shanahan. Those 4 guys are outstanding. And the reason they're outstanding is they use what they have and nothing more.
2 tight ends remain in there for the Packers. They have a first and goal on the Kansas City 8. Screen pass to Edgar Bennett, and making the play was Derek Thomas, who was right there to knock down Bennett for no gain.
The Kansas City Chiefs need more big plays out of Derek Thomas. One of the Green Bay Packers is down right now.
Mark Chamora.
Yeah, we just talked about.
In a game like this, the Packers can ill afford to lose one of their tight ends. They figure heavily in the game plan today, I would think.
They can't afford to lose anyone anymore.
It's the story of Kyle Brady.
I want you to watch Mark Chamora right here. It's just going to go down, and this isn't a good sign. When this happens, when nobody touches you and you go down, that's either muscular or it's a knee, and generally those kind hurt the most because there's nothing, it just kind of pops. Cold weather like this, sometimes the guy won't get warmed up properly. Those things can happen.
10th play of the drive, which started on the Packer 43. Second and goal from the 8. 4 wideouts for the Packers, and a handoff to Dorsey Levens, who powers his way to about the 6-yard line.
I watched this Kansas City Chief defense. Everybody talks about Neil Smith 90 and Derek Thomas outside, but that man right there to me is the key. He, along with Joe Phillips, are the whole deal because they hold down the middle in the run game. They push the pocket in the pass game. They don't always have the numbers for getting any kind of sacks, but they're the key. They force everything from the inside out, and then that allows those other guys to make the plays.
Artie Schottenheimer told us he didn't expect this to be a high-scoring game, so the defense has to play big. Chiefs lead 3-0, but a third and goal coming up on the 7. Edgar Bennett in motion to the right, and the pass to the end zone to Keith Jackson, unable to handle it, and covered by Anthony Davis, the linebacker, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A nice job of running by Anthony Davis, and then nobody picks up Derek Thomas off the corner. And he comes clean, which forces this ball, but watch Anthony Davis get on his horse and run underneath. That's a good job. I mean, and because nobody takes Derek Thomas, he's coming clean. Favre has to let that thing go quick and take his shot. And that's what you're playing on. You're playing the percentages of him having let the ball go early and not being able to cover.
So the Packers, like the Chiefs, will settle for 3 if they can get it. Chris Jackie with a 25-yard attempt. The kick is good, and we're all tied at 3-3. Each team has had the ball once. Each team has a field goal. We'll be right back. Thanks to the blockbuster blimp. Capacity crowd, and here you see a glimpse of Royal Stadium to the left at this very impressive Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. 3-3 the score, and Craig Hendrick kicking off. To Marek Vanover returning for Kansas City. Hanover runs right into Travis Jervey, who makes the play. This is just the first of the big doubleheader on Fox today. The Cowboys and the 49ers are the featured second game of our Fox doubleheader. They'll meet in San Francisco. And it's an important game, obviously, for both teams. The 5th straight season they have met. The 49ers have a 3-game winning streak. Charles Haley did not make the trip to go against his former team.
I think the biggest thing there is the Dallas Cowboys cannot turn the ball over. That's just killed them the last two times they played that game.
Chiefs first down on their 24-yard line. Bono getting a rush from Butler, and the pass is incomplete to Chris Penn. In and out of his hands. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Rick and Matt in the Futility Bowl, Atlanta, St. Louis. Take a look at rookie Eddie Kinnison on the punt return. Nice moves, nifty footwork, reminiscent of Matt Millen during his days. He goes, yes indeed, 78 yards to pay dirt. 7-0 St. Louis. Back to Dick and Matt.
Eddie Kinnison is an exciting return man, but I love him because he loves the Three Stooges. You don't get any better than that.
He'll be your friend forever. 2nd and 10, Marcus Allen.
Did you see Marcus
by
Allen?
George Kuntz after a gain of 3.
Did you see him finish that run?
I did.
That's why Marcus Allen is still in this league. He's so competitive. He's got great vision, but he understands, boy, when you have to get a tough yard, you lower your shoulder, and man, you become a man out there. He just finished off that run, picking up another, 2 yards at the end of that. This is called finishing off a run. Now, you know you're going to get hit. Watch him drop the shoulder and drive right through George Kuntz. That picked up another 3 yards when there was nothing to pick up.
Dale Carter, the outstanding cornerback, has come in the game at wide receiver on 3rd down and 6 at the 28. Allen now in motion left. Bono flips it, intended for Allen, incomplete. And he was covered by Eugene Robinson. And that will bring up 4th down. We have an update on the injury to Mark Shimura. It is a sprained arch, and they're examining that injury. So of all of the possible injuries, that is not the worst by any means.
No, but that's a painful one. I mean, he's got the ice on it. That doesn't look good. That looks like it could be the rest of the day for him. Mark Shimura is a player that they cannot afford to lose.
Louis Aguiar will kick it away, and Desmond Howard, who had a good return on the kickoff after the field goal, a bad kick by Aguiar. A penalty marker is down, and the Chiefs down it on the Packer 42-yard line. So let's see what the penalty is all about. Our referee today is Bob McElwee.
There's a penalty flag down.
Ineligible man downfield.
Number 59 of the kicking team is inelibly downfield.
That will be declined quickly by Mike Holmgren, because the Packers, after that 30-yard kick by Aguiar, will have good field position for their second offensive series. Packer receivers have really stepped it up, Matt. Brooks and Antonio Freeman. But look at the others. They've come up big since the injuries.
Yeah, this should be the average. Boy, that's not very good handwriting, but that's the average number of catches. And look at this last week, 11 catches. They haven't missed a beat. I just think it's amazing, and a fine coaching job by the Green Bay Packers.
Mickens caught 7 last week in his first start, and intercepted by James Hasty. He picked it off.
Now
they're ruling it is incomplete.
Well, he was right on top of it, and Hasty's not giving much of an argument.
Initially, it appeared, because there was no signal of an incomplete pass, that James Hasty had picked off that screen pass intended for William Henderson, but then the officials looked and another one came into view, and Hasty had trapped it, so it'll go incomplete pass.
Ball goes over the top. Hasty dives for it.
Hit the ground.
Yeah, and this is a great effort by Hasty to be able to get his hands underneath. You're fine, but you see it went through his arms, and he dropped the football. That's a good call by the official.
James Hasty did not start, but is in there now at corner, 2nd and 10 on the 42. Draw play to Dorsey Levens, and Levens brings it out to midfield, short of the first down by 2 yards.
Right now, what's apparent to me is Mike Holmgren is getting in passing formations and running the football, and staying in running formations and passing the football. And he's doing that because you're able, by personnel, to dictate who's going to be on the field in certain positions. Most notably, number 58, Derek Thomas. He's not going to let him rush the passer. Then when you're getting blocking inside like you did there out of Aaron Taylor, it's effective. You can see, last 5 games, he has not been very effective at all.
3rd and 2, Edgar Bennett goes in motion. Favre in trouble, finds Henderson out of the backfield, and that will be a first down for the Packers. Henderson gets into Kansas City territory. Dale Carter picked him up and knocked him down after a gain of 4 yards.
You know, this Kansas City Chief defense really matches well against this Green Bay Packer offense. Dale Carter, everybody tells me he's the best corner in the league. They don't even mention Dion next to this guy. Then you have Hasty on the other side, Washington and Mark Collins. That's an outstanding secondary. And they can really nullify the receivers and put all the pressure on Favre.
First down, Packers on the Chief 46. Edgar Bennett gets a good hole off the right side and gets yet another Packer first down to the 36-yard line. Keith Traylor, number 94, who had replaced Dan Saliamua on that play, made the tackle on Edgar Bennett.
I'm going to tell you what's really become a strength for the Packers. The inside 3. You know, Frank Winters, 52, that center. And Aaron Taylor, 73. And then Adam Timmerman, the right guard, are all playing very well. Listen, they're running right at the strength of that defensive line. Those 2 inside guys, Saliamua and Joe Phillips, they're the power of that defense.
But Saliamua came out, and there you see the Packers have a first down. Ken Rutgers had hoped to play. He has an injured left knee. Saliamua on the sideline right now, and
boy, that's a squatty body if I ever saw it, huh? I would like to know his inseam if it's past 21. I don't think so. And he packs a lot of stuff. That's the proverbial 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag right there.
Packers first down on the Kansas City 36. 3-3 the score. Here comes the blitz up the middle, and Favre fires it, and no flag is thrown.
Now it will be thrown.
Tracy Simeon.
They threw that flag late. Yeah. Favre knows it. And it's a good call by the official. Because the rule, Bob McElwee is going to call it.
Intentional grounding. Number 4.
He threw it away to avoid the sack by Simeon, and he saw the sack coming.
At the spot of the foul.
The rule, he's right. I mean, the rule has to be, first of all, he has to be outside here. Clearly, he is not past there. Comes right back inside. Now he's just going to throw the ball away. It has to be at or beyond the line of scrimmage. And it has to be outside that tackle box. Neither of them are there. McElwee's on top of it, and it's the right call.
And a loss of 21 yards, and that is going to push the Packers well back into their own territory, to their own 43-yard line. Again, the Packers will come out with 4 wide receivers. They don't have Mark Shimura, who's on the sideline with an injury. So Mays, Howard, Mickens, and Beebe are in there, 2nd and 31. And a running play to Dorsey Levens. And the Packers have got good mileage out of runs up the middle thus far in this first quarter. William White makes the stop after Levens chalked up 15 yards.
You see what they did? They spread everybody out. And then they just had Dorsey Levens sitting in the backfield. The linebacker, remaining guy who had him in coverage, had to kick to the offside, and they just ran straight up inside. That's just good basic football. But in order for that to happen, you have to be able to run. And then did you see Brett Favre at the end of that play? I mean, that guy makes fakes that just hold backers just a little bit, which allows Levens to get back inside.
That was Levens' longest run from scrimmage this year. 3rd down and 16, still a long way to go, and a safety blitz by James Hasty, and getting credit for the sack is Vaughn Booker. That is the 2nd sack for Favre on this drive. Loss of 6.
Good pressure defense. First they're going to go James Hasty outside. They want to look for Jackson right away, but there's coverage. And the guy who has it is Derek Thomas. And then you have to go to your second guy, and that's going to be Anthony Morgan. But Anderson is out there running with him. No place to throw the football. Hasty comes in a bit, blitz, he comes clean. Good pressure, sack.
So Craig Hendrick will kick on 4th down. Tamarick Vanover back deep for the Chiefs. And Hendrick going for the sideline. And it's a good roll for the Green Bay Packers, and down inside the 5-yard line by Tyrone Williams.
This is a good call by the official right here. This is an outstanding call by this official.
It had rushed one of the Packers upfield.
And Bernardo Harris is going to try to argue it, but this guy is right on it.
Meanwhile, the kick measures 28 yards.
Watch Tyrone Williams. He's trying to find that thing, and the ball hits his hand right there. And it rolls forward, and then they do a good job of covering it up, but they didn't do well enough because the official was right on top of it. That's two outstanding calls by the official.
And Nolan Cromwell is talking to Williams because that cost the Packers 17 yards. First down and 10 on the 20. Reggie Johnson, number 85, is the tight end for the Chiefs. 3-3 the score, and here is Marcus Allen straight ahead. You talk about finishing running plays. How about that one?
He's amazing. And the man is just amazing. 36-year-old. You know, he's not much to look at. Marcus Allen, you look at me and go, that's Marcus Allen? Where the heck's his chest and shoulders? Yeah, but as a running back, you don't run like that. Look how low he is. Look at his pad level. Look how he keeps his legs keep on going. And then the other thing is you get help. Anytime there's inside running, look at LaChapelle taking Leroy Butler. Just taking him and throwing him to the ground.
Allen has already broken one of the records. One of the three he's got a shot at breaking today. First and 10 on the 30-yard line. And here is Allen again for a couple. Today, the 200th NFL game, breaking Mosi Tupu's record for most games played by a running back, and Allen has shattered that one. Well, November is the month for big stars and non-stop action on the Fox Tuesday night movie. Fasten your seatbelts and hold on tight, because Alien Nation, Cliffhanger, and the box office smash Speed are all coming to non-stop Fox. Second and 7 on the 33 for the Chiefs. Donnell Bennett, number 30, is the lone running back, and Bennett gets the call, and he carries it out to the 36-yard line, where Santana Dotson brings him down in a pickup of 3. Kansas City Chiefs have 3 losses this year. They've lost at San Diego and at Denver in a rare home loss on a Monday night to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This team does not lose many games here at Arrowhead.
Well, they're well coached, and they play hard, and you really can see Marty Schottenheimer's stamp all over this football team.
And it has been a ball control game, the kind of game that Marty Schottenheimer likes to play. Nearly a half a minute remaining in the first quarter. Third down and 4. Bono looking to throw, and a fade pattern out to the running back, Kimball Anders. A flag is down.
Yeah, but that's not going to matter, because Anders, they're going to call this on Wayne Simmons, but Anders had great concentration and came down with that ball. And that's a nice job of Bono of knowing where to go with that football. Simmons got locked up in man, and Bono looks over the field, and he's going to see exactly what he has. Now he sees the matchup down below, lay that ball out, facing under pressure. Now watch the end of this play. Simmons is going to go, get his hands in, a little incidental bump. That's what they're going to call. But it's all for naught anyway, because Anders made a tremendous play.
Anders coming into the game, the second leading receiver behind Chris Penn for the Chiefs. 21 seconds remain in the first quarter. First down on the Packer 43. That was a 21-yard pickup. Here is Donnell Bennett, and he is pushed back by the right side of the Packer defense, and a loss of a yard, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. It's been ball control and low scoring, and after 1 here in Kansas City, the Packers and the Chiefs are tied 3-3. Mark Shimura being taken off. He'll have x-rays for that sprained arch. Another loss for a receiver for the Green Bay Packers. They lost Robert Brooks and Antonio Freeman. Freeman, who has a broken forearm, hopes to get back in time for the Bears game on December 1st at Lambeau Field.
What Shimura gives them, though, is a physical blocking. He's like another toughness guy up front, which they really don't get out of Keith Jackson at all. That tight end position, especially when you run this kind of offense, when you're off tackle, makes a big difference.
There you see the ball control. The Packers 9+ minutes, 17 plays. Kansas City had it for 5 minutes. They had the biggest play, the 69-yard pass. Brett Favre getting set to go to work next time. Dale Carter in as a wide receiver with Tamarick Vanover, his first appearance as a receiver. Second and 12, and a fade pattern to Vanover. And let's see if they call an offensive interference. Doug Evans seemed to have the better beat on the ball. And Vanover might have interfered with Evans.
Ooh, now there's a bunch of flags. That's not good.
Number 33 defense.
I didn't see it. Maybe we'll see it on this replay.
Called it against Doug Evans.
Doug Evans, this one I don't get.
I thought it was the other way
He
around.
has Vanover.
33 defense.
Okay, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Guess what, boys? Nothing there.
Number 33 is disqualified for shoving an official.
So not only that, but
That
Evans is out, and that is bad. There's something there.
That's worse than bad. I got to tell you something. All those good calls that were made earlier, that's a horrible call right there.
The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will also be enforced. Half the distance. That player is disqualified.
Well, Doug Evans has to know better. There is no excuse for bumping an official,
I
even
agree
with a
with that.
bad call. That was a bad call, however.
It was horrible. Tim Mills, the back judge back there, saw something that didn't exist.
If anything, Vanover interfered with Evans, if anything. So a key operative is out of the game, Doug Evans.
Oh, that hurts
The cornerback,
bad.
and Tyrone Williams, number 37, will go in to replace him, and it'll be to pour salt on the Green Bay wound. First and goal inside the 10 for the Chiefs. Evans bumped an official, and Mike Holmgren is livid on the Green Bay sideline.
Well, wait till he sees the replays. He's going to be even more livid. Because that was something that never existed. Now, the bump could have been. But what preceded the bump never happened.
If anything, if there was any contact, it was incidental contact. Both were going for the football.
They're going to let him play for football, but the back judge made a bad call.
First and goal for the Chiefs on the Green Bay 9. Here's Marcus Allen off the right side, following the block of Dave Zott, the left guard, and he picks up 4 yards. George Kuntz in on the stop to about the 5-yard line.
Now this puts more pressure on the Green Bay defense and Fritz Sherman. Now you have a kid, Tyrone Williams. You're going to put him outside in the corner. A lot of times they're blitzing, and they're letting those corners on an island all by themselves. We're going to see how fast it takes Kansas City Chiefs to be able to find him out there.
Shouldn't take him that long. Second and goal on the 5. The 7th play of the drive is upcoming. Reggie Johnson, the second tight end. Here is a fade pattern. Incomplete, and Williams did a good job defending against Chris Penn in the corner.
And I want you to see what Kansas City did. This is good football. I mean, this is good X's and O's. They're going to come out inside, and they're going to try to get him isolated all by himself. And here's what they do. They're going to motion back, which draws the safety. Now, look, nothing at all by himself. He's got to be able to cover this and defend and anticipate. And he does a nice job knowing he has underneath help, run to the top, and take that fade away.
Joe Horn, who has got good speed, number 84. A 5th-round draft pick is coming. Third and goal on the 5. Butler is watching LaChapelle. Bono on a designed rollout to the right, fires into the end zone, incomplete. Newsome was defending Chris Penn, and once again the Packers do a terrific job defending in the red zone, and that'll bring up 4th down.
You know, people are going to start booing right now, and they're going to say, Bono got to throw the ball. Okay, you tell me where you can throw it. Penn comes back inside, Newsome's right on top of him. No place to throw that football. And then Joe Horn on the other side has a safety sitting down inside, no place to run past him. Nice job by Pryor. And then Reggie White gives the pressure up the field to force the throw, and so it's well defended.
So Pete Stoyanovich, who was successful earlier on a 26-yarder, this will be a 22-yard field goal, and this just makes it inside the right upright. So the Packers have to settle for 2 field goals after getting first and goal against Green Bay.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Lexus ES300. The road is calling. Answer it. By Sony Big Screen TV. And by McDonald's, official break of the NFL.
Doug Evans leaving the field, having been disqualified for bumping an official after protesting a pass interference call. A very difficult loss for the Green Bay Packers.
That's a tough one.
Total yards, the Chiefs have the edge by almost 2-1 right now, but the score is 6-3.
Yeah, and then passing, that's 1 69-yard play. That's 21-yard difference past that first play.
Stoyanovich with a line drive kick, and that will go out of bounds, giving the Packers the ball on the 40.
That's inexcusable. And Stoyanovich, that's inexcusable. You cannot do that. Ball's going to come out to the 40-yard line. At the beginning, they talked about Lynn Elliott. Boy, all we need is a kicker. We need a kicker, and we were in the playoffs last year, you know. We lost that game, and so they get Stoyanovich. Everybody says, okay, things are great now. Stoyanovich is looking horrendous.
But Marty Schottenheimer trying to keep his confidence up, gave him a pat on the back. Stoyanovich missed 2 field goals last week from 31 yards. Had a 22-yarder block. Wasn't his fault. Shaky on the 2 field goals today, and then the kickoff out of bounds.
He's going to go from a pat in the back to the kick in the rear.
First down on the 40. Edgar Bennett goes in motion to the left. Favre throws to the right, incomplete, intended for Don Beebe. Right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center, JB.
Hey, Dick, guess what? No fumble so far by Tony Banks. Just an accurate pass, 22 yards to Isaac Bruce. Smart move, goes over and gives it to the kid. More importantly, Rams on top by 14. That in the second. Back to Dick Stockton and Matt Millen.
Brett Favre, 6 for 11 for 41 yards. Just a little off the mark thus far. 2nd and 10 at the 40. Keith Jackson and Jeff Thomason are the 2 tight ends. A fake and a running play to Edgar Bennett off the left side, and Bennett picks up about 3 or 4. Tracy Simeon making the stop on Edgar Bennett, and the Packer running game doesn't bowl anyone over, but they show it enough to make people respect it.
Well, you have to. I mean, you can't be one-dimensional. Mike Holmgren knows that. He also knows that Edgar Bennett is maybe just one attribute away from being a real stand-up running back. I mean, he really has to work on his patience. If he can get that, he can be a top fighter.
Martin Bayless is in the game in the Chiefs' defense. 3rd and 6 on the 44. And a whistle. You saw Anthony Davis ready to come. And a flag down. We're early in the 2nd quarter, 6-3 Kansas City.
False start, 77.
And the penalty is against John Michaels, the rookie left tackle. False start
on 77 will be accepted. 5-yard penalty.
John Michaels playing at left tackle. That's the one position where the Green Bay Packers have not been solid since Ken Ruckers got hurt last year and hasn't been able to come back. Now, he got tweaked last week. Michaels is starting again. And Michaels, I mean, he just looks like a kid. I mean, you look at his body and he tries to eat and put as many calories as he can into it, but he's stuck at about 75, 80. I mean, they say 290, but he's not 290. And if you look at him from behind, heck, sometimes he looks like a receiver. He's so little.
3rd down and 11. First round pick out of USC is Michaels. Split backs for Green Bay. Brett Favre going up top for Don Beebe, and it's intercepted.
Great play by Beebe.
Mark Collins had the ball, and Beebe made a nice play.
That is tremendous transition football. And the ball's up in the air. Collins clearly has a chance to intercept this thing. He takes to the inside. Nice job of Carter holding the outside, knowing his safety help inside. Watch the end of this ball. See how he came right through and stripped that ball? That is the difference between a good play and a great play, and Don Beebe made a great play.
Craig Hendrick will punt for the Packers, and Tamarick Vanover getting set to receive for Kansas City. Vanover reverses his field. He's got room. And Vanover is wrestled down by the punter, Craig Hendrick, at the 42-yard line. Hendrick saved the day for the Packers, but the Chiefs, real good field position when we come back.
Hey, you're a guy, and guys want to be cool. Hang out with other guys who are cool. But even cool guys sweat. 40% more than women, in fact. So how you gonna stay cool with something new. Speed Stick Gel. No other gel keeps you drier, so you always feel your coolest. It's unbeatable gel protection, and guys, no matter how cool they are, need all the protection they can get. New Speed Stick Gel. It's just for the guys.
Introducing McDonald's Deluxe Sandwiches. They're new, they're big, with fresh toppings and a bakery soft roll. The average adult has over 8,000 taste buds. Get ready to use them all. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? You're out! Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue #1, so don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
Hey, that's great. But who are the chefs?
Not going anywhere for a while?
Great googly moogly.
Grab a Snickers.
You spell it.
Yeah.
Someone's killing men of the cloth.
I know why you're here.
Is he fulfilling an ancient prophecy?
Are you afraid to die, Frank?
A brand new millennium, Friday at 9, 8 Central.
Travis Jervey, number 32 outside, has to have a plan. Now, this is called a mugging in the National Football League. Reggie Tongue, 41, Mark Collins, they just bury him, and then they're in no hurry to get up. They're just going to leave him looking for the WWF, and now they get up, and they're looking for Craig Hendrick to get beat, and guess what? It doesn't happen. It's an outstanding job of giving up your body, but making sure that the runner gets put on his back.
Greg Hill is in at running back for Kansas City, and Hill on 1st and 10 at the 43. He gained 100 yards on 15 carries and scored 2 touchdowns last week. A big rushing game for KC.
Dick, you know when you watch a good baseball game and see a guy coming with power all the time, and then he gives you the changeup? That's what Greg Hill is. Greg Hill's a changeup for this Kansas City Chief offense, because what he gives them now is speed. And he'll give you the ability to break something and make a big play. It's something the rest of this offense doesn't really have. He's got speed.
Picked up 7 yards on that carry. Chiefs at midfield need 3 yards, and here is Hill, who gets more than 3, and a first down to the 42-yard line of Green Bay. Brian Williams making the tackle, a gain of 8. We talked about the history of these two teams. Let's go back 30 years to Los Angeles at the Memorial Coliseum. Hank Stram and Vince Lombardi, it started the Super Bowl tradition. Super Bowl 1, Len Dawson to Curtis McClinton for the touchdown. But the big one that everyone remembers, Max McGee with 2 touchdown catches in the game on the receiving end of Bart Starr. And Max McGee is here at Arrowhead today. On first down, Bono with a lot of time, and his pass underneath to Sean LaChapelle. And Kansas City is rolling. They've got a first down on the Packer 21. Gain of 20. Butler and Newsome on the play.
That's a nice job of this Kansas City offense and how they got it done. LaChapelle is going to go down, and he comes right to the middle of the field. Now, you can run away from a defender when you run crossing patterns. But that can only happen because on the bottom side, they ran the corner right off, and it opened that whole quadrant up, and LaChapelle, who everybody says has no speed, can get open.
Working in construction. Just 2 months ago, he was dropped by the Chiefs in August. Here is Greg Hill with a big opening off the left side, and inside the 10, the first down, goal to go, and a gain of 14 with Butler making the stop for Green Bay.
You see the difference Hill makes? And he just hits the hole that much faster. And then they call a different game. They're going to start to hit the edges. Will Shields with a nice block there on Kuntz, and then Joe Horn is on Williams, and that allows Hill to get down into that secondary where he can use his speed. You give this guy a crack, there's big play potential.
And since he's come in, Matt, he has 3 carries for 29 yards. Talk about a changeup with Marcus Allen. First and goal for Kansas City from the 8. They go again to Hill, and Hill is going to get over for a touchdown.
That was all Greg Hill. That was designed to go off tackle, but his speed said, let me take this thing outside. Because of his vision and because he was able to see it, the former Aggie from A&M just bounced that thing outside and used that speed and then finished the runoff a la Marcus Allen into the end zone.
That gives Greg Hill 3 touchdowns in 2 games. And the Chiefs add to their lead. On for the extra point is Pete Stoyanovich. And the kick is good. And the Kansas City Chiefs have moved out in front over the Packers 13-3 on a great, dazzling offensive show by Greg Hill.
Oh, Mr. Jordan! Next year, when I grow up, I'm going to win an NBA title. And when I'm 9, I'm going to be in a movie like Space Jam. And when I'm 10, I'm going to eat deluxe sandwiches, just like you.
That's pretty ambitious.
Now at McDonald's, try our deluxe sandwiches with the grown-up taste and collect these fun Looney Tunes stuffed characters from the movie Space Jam. Just $2.99 each with the purchase of a new deluxe or any other large sandwich.
Come on. You want to learn how to jam?
Yeah.
Space Jam at McDonald's. Come hungry. Leave stuffed.
I think I watch football a little differently than a lot of people. I see a player take a hit and stay in the game. I think, yeah, we help people stay in the game, too, when they get rocked by something unexpected. An illness, an injury. By filling the gaps their other insurance doesn't cover, Aflac can help keep things going. Pretty solid defense. P.S. The Aflac trivia questions? Sorry, I don't write them, and I hardly get them either.
Presenting the full-time four-wheel drive Lexus LX 450. It's everything a Lexus is, and everything a Lexus isn't.
At this hospital, patients check in, but they don't check out. Don't miss a brand new X-Files tonight at 9, 8 Central.
Greg Hill congratulating his offensive line after an 8-yard run. Hill gained 37 yards on that drive and scored the first touchdown of the game to give the Chiefs a 13-3 lead over the Packers. That is the scoring drive. 5 plays, 57 yards. And Kansas City finally got a touchdown after getting a first and goal against the Packers. It stopped them, limiting them to 2 field goals prior to that. Desmond Howard on the return of kickoff brings it out to the 28-yard line. And that's where the Packers will go to work. Well, today's Aflac trivia question. 10 players were drafted ahead of Marcus Allen in the 1982 draft, and only one is still active. Who is he? And we'll have that answer coming up. 15-year veteran Marcus Allen.
Tell you one who it isn't. It isn't Greg Hill.
No.
Tell you, Marcus Allen, though, has been a good mentor for Greg Hill. And you can see the way he finished that run, and he's been paying attention.
Packers have had almost as many penalty yards as offensive yards. That's unusual for them. First down at the 28 for Green Bay, down by 10. Favre with plenty of time going for Keith Jackson. And James Hasty has it, and it's incomplete, out of bounds. But I have to say this, Matt, right now, Brett Favre has been way off the mark with his pass attempts.
Well, for a couple of reasons. So one of the least of which is guys like James Hasty who make plays. I'll tell you, I am very impressed with James Hasty. He is a student of the game. And it's a second interception that he almost had. You're not going to beat him with your head. You're not going to run by him. He's technically extremely sound. He has made this defense all around in the secondary much better because he's a coach on the field.
And playing with an injured hamstring. Second down, 10. Pass up the middle. Intended for Jackson, who claims he was pushed. Tracy Simeon defending a good pass rush up front from Neil Smith and Vaughn Booker.
This is a position where the Green Bay Packers did not want to get in. See, they did not want to have to become a pure passing team. They didn't want to become one-dimensional because, frankly, their offensive line can't handle this defensive front of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, obviously, it's still early in the game, and Holmgren will try to keep them off balance with screens and draws inside, but he's going to have to establish more than just throwing the football.
And with the play clock running down, the Packers are forced to call a timeout with just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. The crowd in a sea of red enjoying the show so far.
You know what I'm sick of hearing about?
The internet.
The internet.
The internet. The internet. What are you doing?
Surfing the web.
Nice hair. Solarized pictures of dead fat rock stars. UFOs. $1 zillion worth of technology, and what are we doing with it?
Browsing.
Here's an idea. Use the internet for something useful, like running a business, okay? All right? No kids, no chat rooms, no smiley face. Just raw, naked, in your face capitalism. You want to surf? Move to Maui.
You've been thinking about getting a digital satellite dish. And thinking some more. Well, think about this. The people at Radio Shack can answer your questions. Plus, now they've got great deals. Own an RCA brand DSS dish with programming for about $1 a day plus installation. Up to 200 channels of select movies and sports available on USSB and DirecTV. Think about it. Better yet, stop thinking about it. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
It's the middle of the night. If she woke up with heartburn, she should take Zantac 75. The medicine in here was prescribed by doctors over the last 5 years, more than all other medicines of its kind combined. Just one Zantac 75 relieves nighttime heartburn. So take one of these and call me in the morning.
Zantac 75, the final word in acid relief.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
Back here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, two prominent members of that Super Bowl one, Len Dawson, the quarterback of the Chiefs on the left, and Max McGee, who caught 2 touchdown passes for Green Bay, working the radio broadcast for their respective teams. 3rd down and 10. Crowd is a factor. Favre trying to go to Morgan. Incomplete, 4th down.
The Green Bay Packers at one time had balance. Right now they don't. They knew going into this game they were going to have to rely on Brett Favre. They also knew that the timing is not there because of the injuries in their receiving core, but right now the Kansas City Chiefs are exploiting that.
Van over back deep, and Hendrick, who made the tackle on the last punt with a short but high kick, and a fair catch called for by Tamarick Vanover at about the 38-yard line. Once again, today's Aflac trivia question is 10 players were drafted ahead of Marcus Allen in the 1982 draft, and only one is still active. Who is he? The answer is current Packers backup quarterback Jim McMahon, and there is Jimmy Mack, who was drafted 6th overall by the Chicago Bears.
And look at some of the names that were there. You can see Kenneth Sims, Schleister, Chip Banks, Johnny Cooks. And here are some real good ones. Gerald Riggs down there. Mike Munchak really played well. Jim McMahon, though, keeps on going and going. He says, I can play forever with the way quarterbacks play nowadays.
He sure can. He's a good influence. 1st and 10 on the 39. Kimball Anders trying to go wide left. And an acrobatic move, and he got about 7 yards on the play. And right now, let's send it to James Brown and an update from our Fox Television Center.
Redskins getting the job done early, Dick. No, not Terry Allen. Take a look. Mark Logan, 36 yards to pay dirt. He puts the Redskins up by 7. That in the 2nd. Back to Kansas City. Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
And the Redskins, JB, and the Eagles come in tied for 1st in the NFC East. 2 games ahead of the Dallas Cowboys, who have the big one with the 49ers later on Fox. 2nd and 5, and a play-action fake. Bono getting pressure from Reggie White. Goes underneath to Reggie Johnson, the tight end. And completes the pass. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 with Kuntz making the tackle.
Well, you can fake a lot of people out with play action, but one guy you're not going to is Reggie White, working right here on 66, Ricky Sigler. They run a stunt. Gilbert Brown just paves the way, and then Reggie White just runs past everybody. but because Gilbert Brown put the pressure and White comes clean, that forces the ball underneath. Then Kuntz finishes that play off.
3rd down and 3. Todd McNair, number 48, in the game now. Bono completes to Kimball Anders on the right sideline, pushed out of bounds by Mike Pryor, but the Kansas City Chiefs mixing their plays well, get 20 yards on that one and a 1st down in Green Bay territory.
Well, they know who to go to. I mean, Reggie White's going to give Sigler pressure here, then just look back underneath. Kimball Anders, to me, is a complete back. I would like to see them use Kimball Anders more. He catches the ball well. He's a big physical guy. He runs well after the catch. He runs well inside. And as you saw earlier, he has the speed to be able to get to the corner. I think he's untapped.
And this team playing sharp football, the Chiefs, already with 132 passing yards. 1st and 10 on the Green Bay 34. And another play fake and a good one. And here is Hill. Greg Hill out of the backfield. Touchdown, Kansas City. And everything is working for the red and gold Chiefs today.
George Kuntz had to run with that through the zone. And credit Steve Bono for knowing what's happening and finding Hill and able to use his speed in the mismatch and throwing that ball perfectly.
Only his 3rd reception of the season, a 34-yard catch, and he had plenty of time to set that one up. The play action is working to perfection for the Chiefs. Stoyanovich perfect with the extra point. So that's 4 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks now for Greg Hill. And the Chiefs have opened up a big 20-3 margin over the Packers.
What's the perfect gift for the whole family? The gift of Prime Star satellite television. Up to 95 channels in digital picture and sound, and you don't have to buy the dish. You get everything you need starting at about $1 a day. And now, if you sign up for multi-channel HBO, Cinemax, or Stars in the Encore Multiplex, you'll get the 1st month free. It's our gift to you and the perfect gift for your family. Call 1-800-PRIME-STAR or visit your local Radio Shack and enjoy the holidays.
Watch right here. Here's your speed with Greg Hill. They're going to run this thing out. They're going to get him out. And there's a nice little bump right in the middle. And this receiver right down here is going to drive right at that. Right here's the key. So you have to run him through. Now he clears this whole thing. Kuntz is coming from underneath. Can't get there, and the ball is perfectly thrown. And Greg Hill is able to get into the end zone.
So Kansas City with a very impressive 1st half, leading 20-3. They have had a terrific defense. The Packers have been off the mark passing-wise. Greg Hill with his 4th touchdown in the last 2 games. That was the scoring drive, 61 yards in 4 plays. And now Stoyanovich will kick off. Desmond Howard and Travis Jerby back deep. Here is Desmond Howard returning for Green Bay. And he brings it out shy of the 30-yard line where the Packers again go on offense. Well, we anticipate more great action with the 2nd half of our doubleheader on Fox. The Cowboys and the 49ers meet in a critical game, I would say, for the Dallas Cowboys, who are 5-4 on the season.
Every game right now for the Cowboys is critical. And they're already back in the standings behind Washington and Philadelphia. They've not played very well. They need that offensive line to come on. None of those things have been clicking.
Packers ball on their 29. Edgar Bennett nowhere to run. Gets maybe a yard on the play. Let's take a look now at the first 4 possessions for Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. They haven't amounted to much.
No, they really have not done anything. Remember, we said at the top of the game that they are very quarterback dependent. In order to do that, they had to be able to mix things up. But because of the way this Kansas City Chiefs defense has been taking away the run, Shimura get hurt, that hurts them. Favre has not been on his game, and that's the difference in the football game with his offense.
2nd and 9. Pressure on Favre, and the pass to Terry Mickens. And Mickens gets a 1st down. Mickens, who caught 7 last week against Detroit. matching his career total, gets 12 yards.
And you're going to start looking for your favorite receivers and guys who've been there. You have to look to your tight end, Keith Jackson. And when you're getting jams like that out of Derek Thomas on your tight end, that takes away the timing. And that's one of the things that the Chiefs said they had to do and are doing. So much of this Green Bay offense is based on quick passes, getting things off on timing. When you disrupt it with jams, it messes things up.
1st and 10, Packers on their 42. Favre up the middle, and this time he's got Keith Jackson. Jackson with another first down to the Kansas City 45, where the free safety Mark Collins on the play.
Talking about it, now you're lined up to the other side, you're Derek Thomas. See, and when you whiff like that and you get nothing, you'll be able to run right through and get your play action. You just see Tracy Simeon 54 underneath. See it play action and you don't get a bump on the tight end, he can get right in there. You have to get a shot on your receiver every time.
Can't let him go free, untouched. 13-yard gain. Packers driving, trailing 20-3. Edgar Bennett, nothing. And it was Vaughn Booker who penetrated, and the Packers have not been able to run against this defensive front four.
I like Vaughn Booker. I mean, they have him at right defensive end. You know, everybody says, oh, you know, Derek Thomas with the speed and all that stuff. Vaughn Booker gives them what Derek Thomas doesn't. That size, he plays the strong point at the point of attack in the run game. And he comes hard. The kid's coming on in the passing game as well. Very active.
2nd and 11 following the loss on the play. Again, pressure on Favre, and down he goes.
There is that speed.
There's Derek Thomas.
You see what he did? He just jumped that corner right away. Anytime you're going to come from the inside out and you're going to try to get a speed, work a speed rusher, it's going to be tough for you. Watch right here. Aaron Taylor is working from the inside out, so you already give yourself a bad angle. And then because of the speed, he's able to get there. And then when you're going to look outside and you have a physical corner like James Hasty is doing to Don Beebe, it's tough. And you know what? Beebe got hurt.
And it takes a lot to hurt Don Beebe. He had 2 big collisions last week against Detroit. It keeps bouncing back.
They had a hand under his shoulder pad. That's usually when they check for a shoulder.
3rd down and 19. Brett Favre stepping up, nowhere to go. And he just about gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
No place to throw that football.
And that'll bring up 4th down. That sack, by the way, by Derek Thomas was his 8th of the season and the 2nd of the game for the Kansas City defense. So Craig Hendrick is in to kick it away.
And Derek Thomas just went down.
Talk about losses.
Derek Thomas used that speed off that corner. And they need that speed. But they also need him to play a complete football game. Play in and play out.
And with 4:28 to go in the 2nd quarter, we'll be right back.
Dallas Cowboys take on the San Francisco 49ers later today.
Derek Thomas still being worked on. It is the only downer so far. What has been a totally dominant effort by the Chiefs.
You're gonna watch him up top. He's working on John Michaels, the rookie out of USC. Comes back inside, and see, that's what you have to do with him. You have to be able to put 2 people on him when he's working over Michaels. Edgar Bennett came up. And then Favre, you see, he just dives at the end. But then he got up and tried to run to the sideline, and then he just kind of shut it down as he got over there.
He has been taped, however, and so we'll check to see the condition of Derek Thomas. Craig Hendrick will punt. Marek Vanover is going to let that one bounce. And the Packers trying to keep it in play. Cannot do it, and a touchback. And Kansas City will bring it out to the 20 as Thomas goes for some work. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Kansas City Chiefs, and the National Football League is strictly prohibited. Along with Matt Millen, I'm Dick Stockton. The Kansas City Chiefs have dominated the Green Bay Packers, who have a good deal of their fans coming down from Wisconsin for this game. Cheeseheads in the stands, and they have been quiet. First down for Kansas City on the 20. Marcus Allen back in the lineup at running back. Allen gets the call and brings it out to the 27. The word is that someone had fallen on Derek Thomas's foot as he tried to get to Brett Favre, and the word is expected to be back into the Kansas City lineup.
Well, based on the way he ran down those steps, I'd expect him to be back. And based on the way Marcus is running inside, that offensive line behind Sigler and Shields on the right side, Grunhard in the middle, and then Zott and Criswell, they're taking over that game up front. And that's a battle the Packers couldn't afford to lose.
Second down and 3. Chiefs on their 27. And the give is to Marcus Allen. And Allen carries it to first down yardage to the 32-yard line. George Kuntz making the tackle as we get under 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half as Allen gingerly gets up and walks back to the huddle.
I think Paul Hackett's calling himself a good football game. Remember, so many things are going on. You can see Marcus Allen with his career rushing.
Passes John Riggins and is now 6th on the all-time list.
Hackett's aware of it, and he's using both Hill and Allen perfectly. He's calling it an outstanding game.
They had a big rushing game. The tandem did last week. First and 10 on the 33, and Bono is going deep for Dale Carter. Carter has been on a handful of plays at wide receiver doing double duty and try to outrun Craig Newsome. Pass incomplete, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, what Carter gives to this offense is some speed, because this offense really has no flat-out speed, but when Dale Carter comes in there, he does. Now, the problem is, you know when he's in there that eventually they're going to try this. So as a defender, you have to be aware of that, and then it doesn't surprise you.
And Derek Thomas has come back out, and he should get back into the lineup as expected. Second and 10 on the 33-yard line. Kimball Anders with blocking off to the left side, and another Chiefs first down to the 44-yard line. George Kuntz and Eugene Robinson, the free safety, but not before Anders picks up a big 11.
Right, and you see Hackett right there. Paul Hackett is calling a good game. And the reason he can is because he's getting some nice blocking up front. That time, Dave Zott gets out in front, and Anders just follows everybody. Now, by formation, you can see what they're going to do. But when you're executing, it really doesn't make a difference. You just go out there and do it.
This Kansas City team had not been playing well despite their 6-3 record. But today they are. They look like they're back in rhythm. First and 10 at the 45. Bono fakes once. Pass deflected off of the hands of Tyrone Williams. It was intended for Sean LaChapelle, and it'll bring us to the 2-minute warning here at Arrowhead Stadium. 20-3 KC. We'll be right back.
When you first come into the league, you're at the bottom of the mountain. Football camp is the hardest thing I've ever been through. Team, coaches, the media, all eyes are looking at me.
We asked some of the NFL's hottest rookies to switch antiperspirants and try Degree.
Body heat activated.
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
As I work harder, Degree works harder. This stuff really works. It helped me keep my coolness.
Body heat activated Degree for an extra degree of protection.
You don't want to be smelling like you just played a football game.
Hi, got your pizza.
I didn't order a pizza.
You didn't order a pizzeria stuffed crust pizza?
Sure didn't.
It's baked fresh every day. Not too thick, not too thin. Just like pizzeria pizza. Mmm, tasty sauce and ring of cheese that's baked into the crust. It's just $8.99 for a large, but...
Oh, yeah, that's ours. Thanks a lot.
Discover Pizzeria Stuffed Crust Pizza.
Hi, got your pizza.
What pizza? Come closer. Closer. There. I'm the road. And I'm so bored. It's been so long since someone new has come into my life and hugged me, caressed me, excited me.
The all-new ES300. The road is calling. Answer it.
Whew, what was that?
Tonight, catch a classic episode of The Simpsons. Then Homer takes on the world heavyweight champion in a brand new episode. It all starts tonight at 8, 7 Central.
Beautiful aerial here in Missouri and the Truman Sports Complex. Sellout crowd of over 78,000 at Arrowhead Stadium. The Kansas City Chiefs lead by a score of 20-3 in the blockbuster video giving us these fine pictures today. Packers on the short end. They also lost Doug Evans, their cornerback, who was disqualified for bumping an official, and Mark Shimura out of action with a sprained arch at tight end. So the Packers have been shorthanded as well. 2nd and 10 following the 2-minute warning. Marcus Allen fights his way close to midfield. Leroy Butler making the stop. We've looked at Green Bay's possessions. Let's see how the Chiefs have fared.
Well, and you see this. You got the field goal and the 2 touchdowns. 2 field goals, rather. And then the biggest thing right there, you talked about, you know, Shimura getting hurt and Evans getting ejected. But the bottom line is Kansas City's offensive line is starting to take over this game. Remember, this is the #1 ranked defense in the National Football League, this Green Bay Packer team. But Kansas City's O-line is really doing the job. They're running effectively inside, and that's opened up the speed to the outside, off tackle play.
Chiefs have taken it to the Packers. 3rd down and 8. Bono nowhere to go. And I don't know whether a quarterback draw was the play there, but in any event,
I think that was panic.
Wayne Simmons got him.
I think it was panic because Fritz Shurmur, the defensive coordinator, is starting to roll the bones over there. He's saying, all right, if you're going to control the line of scrimmage, we're going to have to be aggressive over here. So that time they go man everywhere else, and they come with the blitz inside to put pressure on Bono. Paul Hackett and Fritz Shurmur, you see their offensive coordinator, are in a great chess match right now. One, at this point, that Hackett has the upper hand on because his offensive line is allowing him to do that.
Coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime, JB, Terry, Howie, and Ronnie will bring you all the scores and highlights from today's action. Also, we'll have a preview of what they're calling the fray at the Bay. As later today, Dallas and San Francisco renew their historic rivalry, Game 2 of our Fox NFL doubleheader. All that and more on the Dockers Khakis halftime report.
Remember a couple years ago in San Francisco, and they went in there as underdogs, and because of the legs of Steve Young, he took those boots and opened that game wide open. It'll be interesting to see with that groin injury if he can be effective again.
Louis Aguiar with a fine kick. Packers will let it bounce. And the Kansas City Chiefs down by Tony Richardson. A flag is down upfield at the 40-yard line.
Personal foul is going to go against the Kansas City Chiefs, and boy, that's going to take away a great punt.
The Packers would have been inside their own 5.
Personal foul, grabbing and pulling the face mask, 21 of the kicking team. That's
Martin Bayless. That's a costly penalty for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And it's not a post-possession foul. I mean, that's right in the middle of the thing, so they're going to mark it from back here in the middle of the field. Martin Bayless has been around for quite some time, and this is one of those things that just doesn't happen. You're going to watch him, number 21 right here. And he's working inside. Now he's going to take the face mask of Travis Jervett and pull him down. I don't see it there, but he did pull him down. Maybe it happened later on.
That would have been a 51-yard punt had it not been for the penalty. So they're going to kick it again. Desmond Howard, who's back deep for the Packers. Here is Aguiar's kick. End over end. And fielded by Desmond Howard at the 32. Gets ahead of steam going and is dropped at the 40. That is a difference of 35 yards for the Green Bay Packers, who have under a minute to go in the half and still 2 timeouts remaining to try to get back into this game.
I want you to watch Jerome Woods, the 31 coming down in special teams. Working on Newsome, comes right back inside, and he's just getting beat up all over the place. But he keeps on staying with it. They keep waxing him. He's a pinball in there.
Did he volunteer for that job?
I don't think so. I don't think that's one of those things you want. That's unbelievable.
Why me, he's saying right now. Here's the timeout story. 2 left for Green Bay. 1st and 10 on the 40-yard line. Brett Favre with a slant pass to Don Beebe, complete to the 45. Clock continues to run. Dale Carter defending on that one.
That was one of those kill balls. You see how Beebe got down right away as soon as he caught it? He learned from last week.
And from 6 years with Buffalo, Dorsey Levens out of the backfield gets into Kansas City territory, and a first down for the Packers with Martin Bayless on the play. This is hurry up, and they better hurry up with under a half a minute to go. Favre is going to go down. And it was Bayless again involved in the play, and now the Packers call a timeout.
That's a good timeout. I mean, did you see him get up? As soon as he got up, he didn't know what the time was, and he said he was going to go with that quick count to kill it. Then he looked up and saw that it was down to 13 seconds, and he called the timeout.
And that was the last timeout by the Green Bay Packers.
But you know what? This is about awareness. In this 2-minute drill, you have to be aware, and you have to be on the same page as your offensive line. He's going to come down to get hit high load. Now he gets up, and I want you to watch. He's going to look around, and he's going to try to kill it. He's going to get his offense going. Kill it, kill it, kill it. See right there, he's putting his hand down. Right there, he looked back at the clock, and he said, forget it, timeout. It's great awareness by Brett Favre.
20-3 with 12 seconds to go, and Brett Favre coming back to the huddle to see whether they may go for the distance or try to go for a out pattern to set up a field goal. They're down by 17 points, however.
Brett Favre and his Green Bay Packers, you know, the Packers went from having a quarterback with dependency to having a team that's quarterback dependent.
2nd and 8, but the down is not the key here. Favre can't get it to Dorsey Levens. 8 seconds remain now, and a flag is thrown on the 35-yard line.
Morgan was working over there on Reggie Tongue, and the flag was dropped.
Illegal use in the hands, 44 defense, hands to the face.
Darren
That's
Anderson.
A 5-yard penalty, automatic first
and
down.
who does not agree with the call. Anderson started the game, but James Hasty ended up playing most of the first half at cornerback, and Anderson came in a nickel situation. That is an automatic first down, as you heard from Bob McElwee. But the clock, the big factor. The Packers out of timeouts, and they now will have the ball on the Kansas City 41. Mickens and Beebe line up to the right. Anthony Morgan split to the top. And a sideline pattern by Mickens stops the clock. 4 seconds remaining. And the ball on the 32-yard line of Kansas City.
That is good offense. Mickens ran that thing perfectly. They needed about 10 yards to try to give Jackie a chance to make this field goal, and that's exactly what they got. Ball came out quick, came out crisp. Mickens ran that route perfectly, and Favre hit him right on the money.
So Jackie will try a 49-yard field goal. He is 4 for 7 from 40 to 49. Holding will be Craig Hendrick, but the Kansas City Chiefs will call the timeout. With 4 seconds remaining. Well, tonight on the X-Files, this hospital has a strange way of losing patients. Is it human error or human sacrifice? The doctor is out there on a brand new X-Files tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Holy smokes.
Scary.
You see that thing? A lot of people like that X-Files. A lot of people coming up to me and asking me, like, I have any clue what's going to happen week to week.
And of course, you say it. Of course I don't.
Of course I have no clue.
I watch like you do, you tell them.
I mean, people come up to you and say, hey, what's going to happen on the X-Files this week? How the heck do I know? Watch it and find out.
Chiefs called a timeout to ice the kicker, perhaps. Craig Hendrick will be holding for Jackie, who's been through all of this before. 49-yard attempt. .53 yards has been the season long for Jackie. And Jackie's kick is good. Just made it over the crossbar.
That's a big kick for the Packers.
Time runs out. The Packers get 3. And Chris Jackie with a big 49-yarder, and that is the end of the first half with the score. The Chiefs 20, the Packers 6. JB, Terry, Howie, and Ronnie will be along from the Fox Television Center with the Dockers Khakis halftime report following these messages from your local Fox station.
Hey Bradshaw, I'm James Brown. Let's get you caught up on what's taking place around the NFL. Packers trailing the Chiefs. Marcus Allen now the 6th all-time leading rusher, passing John Riggins.
Well, why not rip him on the show, Terry? Just have these quarterbacks come back at you. That's the way to put him in my place. Bono to Sean LaChapelle, 69 yards. There you have it. Doug Evans, right, the cornerback for the Packers. He's been ejected from the game for bumping on an official. Greg Hill, big first half, touchdown run there. Then finally, play action comes up. Eugene Robinson, the weak safety, comes up, tries to cover him in the flat. Then down the sideline, Hill goes. Excellent route, excellent throw by Bono. Packers 20-6 over the Chiefs over the Packers 20-6. Now Boomer looking right. Holy cow. Boomer, who? Darryl Pounds can't get there. Marcus Dowdell, he can. 64-yard takeoff route. There you have it, 13 all. Skins in the Cardinals. Your Redskins, JB.
Yes, indeed. Tony Banks looking good. Yes, no fumbles so far.
Who is from Louisiana and went to LSU? Who is a rookie and can fly like the wind? That's right, Eddie Kennison. This punt return 78 yards as the Rams are all over the Falcons. Look at the speed this rookie has. Bobby Hebert back, looking, short drop, fires over the middle. Ball deflected, picked up by Toby Wright. He has missed the last 2 games. The heart and soul of this Ram defense. Intercepted, return for a touchdown. Rams all over the Falcons, 28-7.
Buffalo's 4 sacks has them in front of the Eagles by 7. Marino, first quarterback, over 50,000 yards. Dolphins big over the Colts. The Jets, yes, the Jets welcome Hugh Douglas back and lead the Patriots. 21-6. Chandler, 3 touchdown passes in that one. Steelers and Bengals all tied. And the Buccaneers even up with the Raiders.
Say it again.
Yes, indeed. Buccaneers even up. When we come back, preview look at Dallas, San Francisco. Dallas and San Francisco. So much is talked about the inefficiency with San Fran's offense. I don't think enough focus is on the loss of John Taylor retiring last year and what he means.
That's true, and if you look at this offense, they need someone to step up at the other receiver. Terrell Owens, the other receiver that's there right now, has a stress fracture in his foot, so he's going to be slowed down. Brent Jones is back. Look at the problems that he's had. He's had injuries. Look for Popson to come in to spell Jones. And another thing that they have to do, they have to block better. They're having a problem blocking up front.
Yeah, I think the San Francisco 49ers need to reevaluate the way they draft offensive linemen. The game has gotten bigger. It's gotten faster. These guys are historically 280, 282 pounds across the board, with the exception of our guy Brown from the Washington Redskins, who they brought in specifically to block Leon Lett. It'll be interesting to see if that takes place today, but they need to get bigger at that position. Those positions in the offensive line, or no matter who plays quarterback, is going to be killed.
Best thing about this game, unfortunately, for those that really like exciting football, it's not the offense. These 2 defenses are outstanding. I would be real careful if I were the Dallas Cowboys, and I would make sure Leon Lett plays a full 60 minutes today. In this football game, though, historically, great players have to play great. Turnovers have always been the key. I mean, it takes no genius. It's turnovers that have cost the Cowboys the last 2 games. And the opening series, the opening half, established the authority. Because you're at home, the 49ers should control this football game. But where's the offense? Where's the offense? And Ronnie, what about the Cowboys? When are they going to run Emmett? Can they run Emmett in this game?
I don't know if they can run Emmett. That's the problem. Can they get the fullback out and run out of one back set?
We're going to find out. We got to go.
Absolutely. Howie is all over the last 6 games. Dallas won the first 3. San Francisco has won the last 3. It's Dallas and San Francisco. That game will be coming up later today on Fox's doubleheader. Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders. Dockers halftime continues after this.
Of the Green Bay Packers, and that's disrupted the timing. Consequently, Favre has been off.
Let's take a look at the halftime statistics, and it should show the Chiefs having the edge. Steve Bono is 6 for 13 for 166 yards. And some big plays, 5 passes over 20 yards. And here are the first half numbers.
You can see the time of possession is basically the same. The penalties, this one here, that 62-yarder, 62 yards there. Remember, they got rid of Evans. That kind of hurt. And then total, this is the key right here. Look, they've been able to pass the ball effectively. They've been able to protect Bono. He's had the time. And now that's what we're talking about. This is where Fritz Schirmer, their defensive coordinator, has to make adjustments. And then Holmgren on the other side to see how things are going to go, because Paul Hackett in the first half was outstanding.
Bono had 5 passes for over 20 yards, so they were able to get big chunks of yardage. Stoyanovich kicks off. Desmond Howard upended immediately. Good coverage on the second half kickoff by the Kansas City Chiefs. That was Donnie Edwards.
Now, he talked about Brett Favre and throwing the ball and how the Kansas City defenders have been jamming them and disrupting things. You can see past 15 yards only 1 time. Everything else has been underneath. And 11 completions out of 18 attempts underneath the 15 yards. The ball has been coming out quick, and you can see where they miss Brooks and Antonio Freeman with speed to push the ball down the field.
First down from the 25. Favre is running, has the ball knocked away, and it's picked up by Derek Thomas on the fumble, and the Chiefs get it back.
And Neil Smith knocks the ball from behind.
There's the 1-2 defensive combo for the Chiefs again.
Well, you can take that 1-2 and throw it out the window, because I'm going to tell you something. If it isn't for the coverage down the field, that 1-2 got squat. The secondary is are the guys who made the play. You can see Neil Smith comes from behind and knocks that ball out, but there was no place to throw the football. So you can credit Dale Carter and Hasty in the backfield, and because of that, they can make that play. Watch Favre, he's going to look down. Look at perfect right there. Nothing thrown here, nothing throw there. Nowhere to go with the ball, and then that allows Smith to come up and make the play.
And the Chiefs with a first down on the Packer 24, looking to capitalize on the turnover. And running up the middle is Greg Hill. Greg Hill scores his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And guess what? It wasn't speed to the outside. It was Art Shell's offensive line blowing open a hole, and Greg Hill just using his speed. Heck, he's dancing at the other end. That's how good he's doing. They take care of the double team. Kuntz isn't able to come across. Here's the hole inside. There's a nice block on the other side, and then watch him just run through. Nice block right there by LaChapelle, which is the key, and then Williams can't get there.
And Hill try to do what the Packers do at Lambeau, jump into the crowd. Pete Stoyanovich with the extra point is good, and the Kansas City Chiefs have opened up a 27-6 lead here in this 3rd quarter, taking advantage of the fumble, and Hill took him 1 play to give the Chiefs their lead.
I heard someone say, what will they think of next? And I thought, how wonderful it is to imagine that someone is out there thinking of things. And that's their job, to think of something that no one has ever thought of. And all we have to do is wait and wonder, what will they think of next?
The Chrysler Cirrus, Concorde, and LHS, bringing what's next from the cab-forward engineering of Chrysler.
This is the Silicon Prairie, where we get 30,000 calls a day here at Gateway 2000. How come?
Because it was the best value.
I got my money's worth.
We built the computer that I needed.
I needed a high-performance machine, and that's what I got.
And they were great. I felt comfortable right away.
Great big boxes, look like a cow.
I got a fork!
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. So call 1-800-GATEWAY and ask for our free video. Isn't it time you called?
Trade after trade, active investors rely on our brokerage experience. Isn't it time you had Fidelity Investments working for you?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chrysler and the cab-forward sedans of Chrysler. What's new in your world? By Packard Bell, the world's #1 selling home computer. And by new Speed Stick Gel. It's unbeatable gel protection just for the guys.
Greg Hill with a 24-yard touchdown run after the turnover. 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games after not scoring in the first 8 games of the season. He has been the offensive hero the last couple of weeks for the Chiefs, who have a 27-6 lead. And Stoyanovich will kick off again. And Desmond Howard on the run at the 19-yard line, returning for the Packers, and gets to about the 36-yard line. How do you judge Greg Hill doing what the Packers have done and made it a habit at Lambeau?
Well, I got to tell you something. He thinks this is Lambeau Field. This is absolutely horrendous. He's lucky he didn't throw him back. First of all, he had no height whatsoever. Then he got one guy there who's hugging his ear. Probably got some bad breath. See this guy right here? Lambeau Field, they have the sign in the wrong spot. And then that guy, look at this guy right here. Look at this guy. And this guy's screaming in this ear. And this guy sees the camera right here. He could care less about Greg Hill. They got a lot of work to do here.
That's not a pretty sight. First down on the 37-yard line. Edgar Bennett cutting upfield, and Brian Washington rides him, and a gain of about 8 yards for Edgar Bennett. So a shocking turnover and touchdown.
Yeah, Neil Smith is getting up slow too on the other end. He's trying, but he ain't getting up.
And a timeout for injury. Neil Smith, who slapped the ball out of Brett Favre's hand, forcing the turnover, recovered by Derek Thomas. And one play later, the Chiefs scored their 3rd touchdown of the game. But Neil Smith shaken up.
And between Neil Smith and Derek Thomas, they have 2 excellent defensive ends, but frankly, they have not been playing great. Now, Neil Smith, not a real big guy. He runs very well. He can take the corner. He works back underneath. He's a good student of the game, and what I like about him is he wants to be good.
John Browning is going to replace him. The Green Bay Packers did not score a touchdown in the first half for the first time this season. They had to settle for 2 field goals, including one by Chris Jackie from 49 yards out as time ran out at the first half. Not much offense today by Brett Favre and company, and you can credit Kansas City's confusing defense, but again, there's the professor working on the sidelines to see what Green Bay can do to adjust.
Well, I think the biggest thing they're going to have to do is be able to get open, because Hasty on one side and Dale Carter on the other have been throwing a blanket over their receivers. And they're disrupting timing. They're taking things away from them, and they're leaving them to have to go to other things to have to win.
2nd and 2. Pass to Henderson. He's got the first down as he is hit by Brian Washington. Gain of 5 yards. Not only the guys have to get open, but Brett Favre was not especially sharp even when he did have some open receivers in the first half.
Yeah, and I think Gunther Cunningham, the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, is calling an aggressive game. I think it's time, he knew it was time to lay things down and get after him and let those people get after some people, particularly on the corners. You can see the nice tight coverage right there.
First down on the 49. Favre has time, but again the receivers are covered. Finds Henderson. Henderson has it. Flag is down as William Henderson has enough for the first down into the 30-yard line. Simeon making the tackle downfield for the Chiefs, but a flag was thrown at the line of scrimmage.
Dick, that was a great illustration right there of Brett Favre being the Packers' best offensive lineman.
Offside, number 40 defense, lined up in the neutral zone.
James Hasty, and so they'll decline the penalty, and the 18-yard gain will count.
Remember I talked to you about taking away your primary guys is James Hasty. Now he's lined up offside, but he gets a jam, stays on Mickens all the way down the field. Nice bump down the field. No place to throw the football. Then you're going to have to look back underneath. Washington's working on top of there. No place to throw that football. Then there's Favre, who has to go to his tertiary receiver. That's Henderson, and he comes up with it.
1st and 10 at the 31. And a fade pattern to Don Beebe, and playing center field.
He did it again.
Again, Beebe had to prevent Mark Collins from picking it off, and Collins is shaken up in the end zone.
2 plays, Beebe has done the same thing, and Collins looks like he's holding that left knee.
That's a carbon copy of the play we saw in the first half when Favre had overthrown Beebe, and it was right into Collins' hand. We'll have a timeout. We'll be right back.
They're going to play action in here. That will hold these people. this safety will roll to the middle of the field, and he's playing center field. And then you have these guys going down inside. Everything comes off perfectly. This is a poor decision right here, trying to hit this, because the safety's sitting right in the middle of the field. He thinks he's going to try to beat Collins, but it's not even close. You really have to credit Don Beebe at the end of this for the second time of being a good defender. Again, that's good transition football.
And Mark Collins hurt his knee when Beebe banged into him. There you see he immediately was clutching his left knee.
I think sometimes when you look at them, and Mark Collins, incidentally, Mark Collins as a football player gives Gunther Cunningham's defense of the Kansas City Chiefs a lot of leeway to go different ways. Remember, Collins was in New York, used to play corner, still has corner speed. They moved him in here because of his hitting ability and his ability to force the run. He can play safety. He can play center field. He can do a lot of different things. It gives you flexibility. When you have a player like this guy, like Collins, who can do that, it opens your defense up.
Coming into the game, this was the strength of the team. Everyone talks about Gunther Cunningham's defense with Neil Smith and Derek Thomas, but you look at that secondary, they would have been a tough defensive group against the starting wide receivers if Brooks and Antonio Freeman had been healthy, and so they might have an edge against some of the reserves that the Packers forced to use with those guys out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you know what happens with this team? Everybody talks about Neil Smith and Derek Thomas. And to me, when I watch these tapes and watch this team, the people that stand out are those two corners and those two defensive tackles. That Joe Phillips inside and Sally and Mua, they get all the push and they do all the grunt work. Then you got your speed coming from the outside, and then, you know, Dale Carter, James Hasty, Collins, and Washington. To me, that's the key. I mean, you can have a speed guy rush around the corner. That's going to happen. But if you don't get a push, it don't make any difference.
Collins being helped off doesn't look good, and William White, number 35, will replace him at free safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. Where early here in this third quarter, the Chiefs are leading by a score of 27-6 over the Packers. Today, the Packers limited to only 95 yards. They came in fourth in the NFL, thanks to Brett Favre and company. Second down and 10 on the Chiefs' 31. Handoff to Dorsey Levens, not much there, and it was Neil Smith. The Packers have not been able to mount much of a running attack, and you saw the passing numbers moments ago. That'll bring up third down.
We talked so much about this coverage. Watch this coverage down here. They would have to try to take away. They're going to disrupt timing. Everybody is tight. Everybody gets a jam. And because of that, when Favre does choose to throw, everything's off. And so he's not used to it.
Third down and 10. Packers out of sync. They haven't made a third down conversion, and it's intercepted by Brian Washington. And Brett Favre is having the worst game of his season thus far. Second turnover of this second half by the Chiefs. We'll be right back. Brett Favre intercepted for only the 8th time, and for Brian Washington, who picked one off against the Vikings last week, his third interception of the year. The word on Mark Collins, he has a sprained left knee. First down for Kansas City on their 24-yard line. Up the middle is Hill, Greg Hill. And a flag is down. That was Craig Newsome on the stop. 15-yard pickup pending the call.
Boy, the inside three.
It's against Kansas City, and that'll nullify it.
The inside three of the Kansas City Chief offensive line is really playing well.
Personal foul, clipping, number 81.
That was Chris Penn.
15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Remember, they've been dogging Kansas City for their wide receivers blocking Chris Carter going low, and then they're going to call this one because he went at the back of Eugene Robinson's knees. I mean, he didn't start off going that way, but Robinson kind of ran by him, and Chris Penn just went right at him and made the call. And I think what happens is when an issue is made of a guy like Chris Carter working on Lionel Washington a few weeks ago, and that creates an awareness. And because of that awareness, something like that is going to be called.
Collins being taken off with a sprained knee. Mark Shimura suffered a sprained arch. He was gone in the first half for Green Bay. 1st and 15. Nothing there for Greg Hill. And it was Tyrone Williams forcing the play. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Big seesaw battle in Washington. Michael Westbrook, bottom of your screen. Gus Farratt connects with them on the post route. Boy, do they need this guy to come up big. Washington in front by 7. That in the 3rd. Back to Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
And next week, the big game and the showdown in the NFC East between the Eagles and the Redskins at Veterans Stadium.
Washington's going to make a run. They really need Michael Westbrook to come on. He's just getting healthy. They need all of his skills.
2nd down and 16. Here is Greg Hill breaking a tackle. And Hill carrying it out to the 28-yard line. He has been tough to bring down today by the Packers. Gets 10 there.
Well, they caught Reggie White and Art Shell. Art Shell has done just a fantastic job with his offensive line. Art Shell has them playing extremely well. Well, I want you to watch what happens. They're going to catch Reggie White in a stunt. He's going to come back underneath. Hill runs right by him to the outside. They're using everything against him. When you see an offensive line playing like that, that means excellent coaching. I think Art Shell has really, really done an outstanding job with his offensive line.
The former head coach of the Raiders. Several former head coaches on the staff. 3rd down and 6 for Bono. Step in the pocket, and Bono completes the pass to Chris Pan, and a 1st down for the Chiefs to the 40-yard line.
Two things, Dick, I got to tell you. First of all, they're pass blocking exceptionally well. Bono has a lot of time. And the other thing is, Bono now is pushing the ball down the field. It's not that little dinky stuff underneath. He's not afraid to throw the football down the field. And that's been a departure of their passing game. The offensive line really has been the whole key. You see Criswell and Zott, Grunhard, Shields, Sigler. No sacks today, and they're running the football right down the Packers' throat. The #1 defense in the league.
Greg Hill with a 1st down from the 40, picks up about 1.5 yards.
See that Zott right there? See that Dave Zott? I mean, that is the epitome of what Art Shell football is about in that offensive line. I mean, he'll just get out there and he'll start slugging. You're going to take a poke at him, boy, he'll just stand right in there. It's the toughness, it's the coming off the ball, it's the repetition, it's the whole thing of playing everybody in sync. That's the way Art Shell played the game, and that's the way he knows it too. Look at that smile on his face.
And of course, it all starts with the head coach, Marty Schottenheimer, who was a tough linebacker himself when he played. Kimball Anders trying to turn the corner. He had Will Shields trying to block in front of him, but Newsome comes in and no gain on the play. Good play by Newsome.
Heck of a play by Newsome. I mean, you talk about giving your body up for a play, and here comes a 310-pounder at you, and you weigh 190 pounds, and you got to make the play. And watch this. You see everything coming. Now you got to go show force. Here's 300 pounds. Undercut him and make that. That's training. That's training tape right there. Show how that play is made.
3 wide receivers line up for the Chiefs on 3rd down and 8. Kansas City on their own 42-yard line and leading 27-6. And Butler put the force on, and the pass was incomplete, intended for Joe Horn, but Leroy Butler very nearly got himself a sack.
Yeah, but you want to know something? Credit Steve Bono, because Bono had the presence to feel that coming from the backside, and you know he's out of the pocket. You can see Butler coming off the inside of the slot receiver, gets by Anders. Bono sees it. Now you have to feel it, make a decision. It's a good decision by Bono.
You know, he's come under fire here. When he doesn't play well, the crowd lets him know it. But today, they've got to be more than pleased with what Bono has done for the Chiefs. Louis Aguiar with the kick, and Desmond Howard fields it on the 25. Flag down, and Howard is stopped at the 32-yard line.
Personally, I think you have to have a couple of screws loose to return punts in this league. Then you have to have no fear. You have to be extremely focused. And then you got to be nuts.
In the back above the waist, number 39, during the run back.
That was Mike Pryor. Did you return punts in high school?
Penalty.
High school I did. And because I had some sense, you can see hits McNair right there. Because I had some sense and no speed, I never did it again.
You're smart. We'll be right back.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. The change is forever.
Back Back at Arrowhead Stadium, the Kansas City Chiefs lead the Green Bay Packers 27-6. 8:17 remaining in the third quarter. Packers trying to get back into this one. Start from their own 17. Edgar Bennett nowhere to go.
Boy, you see Tracy Simeon
picks up a couple of extra yards on the play, and it was Keith Traylor who made the tackle. Last time these teams played here at Arrowhead, 93, and Mike Holmgren telling us yesterday, I was heartened and I showed the film to our team. Here we turned it over 6 times. They never had a turnover. Favre was sacked 4 times, and yet we could have won the game. But the turnover story, the Packers have turned it over twice and were burned on one occasion. 2nd down and 8. Flips it out to William Henderson. Henderson barrels his way close to midfield and has a Green Bay first down at the 46-yard line. William White makes the stop, but not before a pickup of 27 yards.
Again, because of the coverage outside, he's got to go to the secondary people. Again, it's going to be Henderson after he checks down inside, and then it's just the legs of Henderson getting him there. Again, this has been an outstanding job of this Kansas City defense. Their corners, Hasty and Carter, taking away the primary receivers and forcing Favre to have to go to a secondary guy.
Packers have not really solved that yet since the intermission. 1st and 10 at the 46. Pressure on Favre. He dumps it off this time to Dorsey Levens, who gets into Kansas City territory and is short of the first down by 2.5 yards.
Well, Anthony Davis had himself a chance to make a tackle in the backfield, and he missed it. But I got to tell you something. He probably doesn't realize this, but he made the play. See, when you miss a tackle, you got to miss it so that it cuts back inside to the rest of your help. Davis comes out, and he gets out there. Now he's going to be disgusted because he missed it, but he actually made the play.
2nd down and 4. 3 wide receivers.
And Anthony Davis, boy, as soon as he sees something, he jumps right in there.
The snap, number 73.
Aaron Taylor, the left guard.
Down.
Don't forget the second half of our Fox doubleheader. The much-awaited collision between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Charles Haley did not make the trip, so he will not play for Dallas today. San Francisco 7-2, first in the NFC West. And the Green Bay Packers right now are 1 game ahead of both the Niners and the Eagles for what could amount to home field advantage in the NFC playoffs.
You see that game coming up at 4 o'clock on Fox, and you know the Green Bay Packers might be the first time that they're rooting for the Dallas Cowboys to win.
2nd down and 9. Here is Edgar Bennett. Good second effort. Gets back to midfield. And next week, these Packers will go against the Dallas Cowboys in a Monday night game. Is the second of a 3-game road trip, which started today and ends in St. Louis. Let's take a look at the Pack, and this is their second 3-game road trip of the year.
Well, obviously you have that one, which, you know, that Dallas game for the Green Bay Packers is as much a mental game as anything. I mean, even if they were unbeaten and they could care to lose, that it wouldn't matter. Here's another one that's looming down there. That Denver game, that Denver team is playing really well. Shanahan's done an outstanding job.
They're 8-1. So are the Packers right now. 3rd and 6 coming up. They just get the play off in time. Derek Thomas is chasing Favre, and a penalty flag is down. The pass is incomplete as Favre was running for his life.
And that was the right call again. See, because he was outside the pocket and the ball did go at or beyond the line of scrimmage, there's no call. He also got waxed at the end of that thing, and there was a flag.
Illegal hands to the face, number 34 defense. 5-yard
Dale
penalty.
Carter.
Automatic first down.
Guilty of the flag and another defensive penalty against the Chiefs. Automatic first down.
Well, and this is the physical play, you know, and they're going to catch. You're going to watch him right down here. You're going to walk inside, and you got a hand right up into the face on Mickens. And that was actually going to be a pick. And then watch this at the end. Neil Smith is right there along with Derek Thomas. He just throws that thing. Gets a little wax job on the sideline. Marty Schottenheimer. I'll tell you, Marty Schottenheimer is one of those guys also has some great body language on the sideline. We saw George Seifert, who's probably the king of body language, but Schottenheimer's right there with him.
First and 10 at the 45. Those two could do a dance.
The bossa nova.
First down, Favre up the middle. Pass to Edgar Bennett, and Bennett gets to about the 36, a yard short of the first down, with Tracy Simeon, the linebacker, making the play.
Got to tell you, the one thing the one part of that offensive line for the Packers that's played pretty well has been Earl Dotson. You really don't hear much coming over from that right side much at all.
He had back spasms that was questionable for this game.
He's really turned into a pretty good football player. I think as a right tackle, he's climbing the ranks.
Second and 1. They go to Bennett. Bennett's not going to go anywhere. Good pursuit by the Kansas City defense, led by Anthony Davis.
That Anthony Davis has some nice speed, and that's his greatest asset. He can run. One thing that he does, when he sees it, he makes up his mind. Boy, he takes off and he gets it. I want you to watch him run underneath. See, and that's something you either have it or you don't have it. Now, he missed it, but he made it.
Flag is down, and an injured player as well.
It's John Browning, number 93, who came in and substituted for Neil Smith. It was a flag that went against the Kansas City Chiefs. Personal foul, I believe, and they're going to mark that one off. It's going to be another first down for the Green Bay Packers.
That'll be the second defensive penalty on this drive called against Kansas City. Browning was the player shaken up. He's still down, and we will take a break right now. We'll be right back.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever, and only at the Home Depot.
I really do have dandruff, so I did it. I took the Dinerex test. Dinerex tingled. Head and shoulders, nothing.
All these have effective dandruff medicine, but Dinerex has something extra that tingles, feels fresh.
You won't see me scratching my head in Miami.
Dinerex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
Over the last 150 years, all kinds of companies that said they'd be there when you needed them didn't stand up to their promises. That's life. Our policy of thoughtful, prudent investing has kept us, well, a pillar of strength for the last 150 years. That's New York Life, the company you keep.
Kids, why is Dad so happy we rented with Hertz?
Hertz 24-hour emergency roadside assistance?
No, not exactly.
Hertz computerized driving directions?
Nope, not exactly.
Hertz has more airport locations than anyone.
No, not exactly.
Then why exactly?
Listen.
Now, when you rent Hertz for a weekly or weekend rental, you can get triple frequent flyer miles. That's right, triple miles.
That's why Dad's so happy.
Exactly.
Get ready for an all-new Alien Nation thriller. Alien Nation, The Enemy Within, Tuesday on Non-Stop Fox.
John Browning coming off the field on his own power. The Green Bay Packers on a drive, trailing 27-6. Greg Hill has scored 3 touchdowns today for the Chiefs, who have dominated Green Bay in every phase. First down for the Packers on the Kansas City 25. Here comes a blitz, and Favre had no chance. Fortunately, he got rid of the ball, and Marty Schottenheimer is yelling for an intentional grounding call.
He's not going to get it. That's a good call, and a great play by Favre again.
Tracy Simeon and Anthony Davis with terrific pressure.
Yeah, watch him come right up inside, and Favre is going to feel the whole thing. It's going to start to break down. Now watch him just at the end. That's tremendous awareness of being able to see Edgar Bennett outside and then just throwing the ball back. You just have to have a receiver in the area, and he can call it all he wants, but that's a good call by the official.
Second and 10, under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Again, they pressure Favre. He's going up on top. Touchdown to Don Beebe.
Dick, remember, that's the 3rd time they've tried it. This time, Favre got the safety out of position, threw it to the middle of the field, and was able to let Beebe use his speed to run where nobody was.
And again, Favre was under intense pressure by the Chiefs defense.
Well, they came again with the pressure up inside. Favre saw something. Remember, he checked it right at the line of scrimmage. Remember, this is the one where Collins twice had a chance to make a pick, but Beebe made the big play and knocked it down. He got to the inside of Hasty. Favre threw the ball out where Beebe could use his speed, and that's 6 points.
Don Beebe's 4th touchdown catch of the season. Came in as the second leading receiver behind the injured Antonio Freeman. Chris Jackie's extra point is good. And with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the Packers, with their first touchdown of the day, now trail the Chiefs 27-13.
Hi, I'm James Brown, and in case you missed it, this is what you would have seen on Fox NFL Sunday.
We believe that we should go out there and cut teams up, and right now, that's not happening. There's a sense of urgency.
If I'm Deion Sanders, and I am the best cover guy in football, and I want Jerry Rice every down. If I'm the best player in football, he's the best player in football. Let's see who's better.
Fox NFL Sunday, next week. Check local listings.
Brett Favre, with his 26th touchdown pass of the season, brings the Packers to within 14. An 7-play, 83-yard drive. 2 defensive penalties by the Chiefs gave the Packers life, and Beebe on the receiving end of a 25-yard play.
Well, and you have to credit Brett Favre right there, because he changed that call at the line of scrimmage. He saw something. What he saw was that they were going to go with the blitz, and the safety stepped up.
On Beebe, his wife Diane gave birth to baby girl Makayla on Friday. Kickoff returned by Kimball Anders. And Anders brings it out to the 36-yard line where the Chiefs have the ball.
Dick, I want you to watch Brett Favre right before the play. He saw something. This is complete quarterback. Look at right here. See, now he's going to make the call. See, because there's nothing up top, and he knows he has Beebe outside. And that's audible. Now you make the audible. The Chiefs didn't get out of it. Now they're going to come with the blitz. The safety walks up inside. Favre gets here. This safety doesn't move. Remember, that was Mark Collins earlier. Collins made the play twice. This time he's not there. Favre sees it, falls out, 6 points.
First down on the 36 for Kansas City. Their lead is 2 touchdowns, and Greg Hill dives forward for a couple of yards. The word on John Browning, he had a bruised left shoulder, and his return is probable.
I'll tell you right now, this is big. This is a big time for the Kansas City Chief offense. You can see Favre, the numbers aren't that great, 1729, 177. But right now, this Kansas City Chief offense has to get going. Because if they don't, Brett Favre is 2 plays away from tying this football game up.
2nd and 8. As we wind down to 3 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Butler putting pressure, and Bono running for it. Slides, and Wayne Simmons got him. That time the Packers defensive secondary did the job, and a 4-yard pickup by Bono.
Marty Schottenheimer over coaching that defense right now, but you better take a look at this offense, because there's good coverage down the field. Newsome on LaChapelle, no place to throw the football. And then because they came with a blitz on the underneath side, watch Butler comes off that side, forces it. You got to look down to the other. Chris Penn, again, nowhere to throw the ball, and that sets up 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, Tyrone Williams has done a good job for the Packers after Doug Evans was disqualified for bumping an official early in the game. 3rd down and 4 for Kansas City. Bono stepping up, and his pass is incomplete. It was intended for Chris Penn, and the Packers defense holds.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Dick. That's a big series, because now you get the ball back, 3rd quarter, 2 minutes left. You've just come off of the score. The crowd, you can start to sense that they feel something, because Favre is what he is. They're 2 plays away right now from having this game go completely the other way.
Yeah, they're feeling colder all of a sudden. They're warm when the team is winning. They get up and they cheer, but now they're sitting quietly as the Packers may be making a move. Louis Aguiar kicking to Desmond Howard, who's going to let the ball bounce. And it is down quickly by the Chiefs at the neighborhood of the 25-yard line.
Aguiar's been having a horrendous day.
Brett Favre today has jumped past Lynn Dickey into 2nd place in career touchdown passes in Green Bay Packer history. trailing the great Bart Starr.
That's only a matter of time before you can change that 2 to a 1 for Brett Favre.
He doesn't have Mark Shimura. He went out with a sprained arch. He used a good deal of a 4 wide receiver set today, has the Packers.
Well, when they've done that, they've run the football. And what they've been able to do is take the strength of this Kansas City Chiefs in terms of pass rushing and used it against them.
2 wide receivers on first down. On the 26. Favre gets rid of it. Dorsey Levens on a screen pass and is close to first down yardage. Making the tackle was Keith Traylor, who had played a good deal for Dan Saliamua today.
You know, see, Traylor's getting up a little slow, but the Green Bay Packers are the best screen running team in the National Football League. Now, every offense has screens, so what makes them so good? It's when they run them. See, and that's a credit to Mike Holmgren. It's a timing thing. Because he has the feel for when to throw those things in, they are effective.
Packers have a first down. 1:49 remaining in the third. There's Mike Holmgren and Marty Schottenheimer, 2 young, successful coaches in the NFL. Many people pick these teams to go to the Super Bowl. Kansas City stumbling a bit as of late, having lost 3 of their last 5, but looking strong thus far. The Packers have outscored the opposition 88-16 in the third quarter this year.
Favre's at it again. He sees something he likes.
First down on the 36. Favre completes it to Mickens, incomplete. He had it and dropped it with William White covering.
Tell you what's happening. Favre thought he saw something down the field. It didn't happen, so he went to his other receiver. But the Packers right now made a move in that offensive line. They brought Kenny Rutgers in at that left offensive tackle. Kenny Rutgers comes in, that automatically makes that offensive line stronger. Good ball. Now you have to have control. And there's a hit. That looks like a fumble to me, boys.
Kenny Rutgers injured with the left knee. If he's healthy, he strengthens that left tackle position.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10. The draw play to Edgar Bennett. A hard runner. Bennett gets to the 42-yard line. Will be short of the first down by about 3. It's Tracy Simeon and Dale Carter up from the secondary, making the tackle as we're getting close to the 1-minute mark to go in the third. Shaking the cobwebs off.
Shaking it. Dale Carter's down there. That hurts his Kansas City offense. Edgar Bennett was shaking the Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium turf off of his head. They embedded him.
And they're happy they have natural grass once again here. But Carter is shaken up. Mark Collins already left the game with a sprained knee. And James Hasty did not start but played with a hamstring pull today. So the Kansas City secondary, a strong group. Now it's a debilitated group. There's Hasty, who's actually clutching that hamstring on the sideline.
And the more they stand on the sideline, that hand sees up high. He's holding it up high. That's not good. I mean, the higher up on that hamstring you get, that looks like he's kind of holding it. See, he's high, way up there by the rear end. The higher up, the harder it is for that thing to heal. Carter's coming off holding that right arm. Looks like that's usually like shoulder area.
Tony Stargell, number 45, will replace him. So it's Stargell and Darren Anderson at cornerback. That's not the way the Chiefs would have preferred it. And with Washington and William White, so only 1 starter.
Yeah, that Stargell last week,
regular in there.
That Stargell last week played really well.
3rd down and 4. Crowd on its feet. And a Kansas City timeout. So the Packers came up with something when they got to the line that the Chiefs wanted to talk about.
Cowboys take on the San Francisco 49ers. Coming up next.
I want you to look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Anthony Davis was standing on the sideline, and he tried to run in quick, and it was kind of too late. They had 10 men on the field, and generally it's a good idea to have 11.
It would help on third down plays especially. Carter on the sidelines, but he has his helmet on.
You know what happens when you get a guy like Dale Carter and James Hasty, both of them out, and then you have to go to substitutes. Jerome Woods comes in and Stargell, and that messes up your other packages.
Third down and 4 at the 42. Favre with a blitz. Aaron Anderson had come up the middle, and Anthony Davis
made a nice
play, but it was Anderson who forced Favre to get rid of it in a hurry.
Well, usually when you're going to have a guy line up in the slot, he's going to come, and that's Darren Anderson. And he's going to come back inside, and because Anthony Davis draws this block inside and then does a tremendous job of getting back outside, Anderson can come up and give the pressure. But Davis really made the play on both ends. He opened it up, drew the block, and then got off and knocked the ball down.
Greg Hendrick will kick to Tamar Vanover as the Chiefs defense does a terrific job holding on 3rd and 4. Fair catch called for by Vanover, and he fields it at the 10-yard line. Following game 2 of our doubleheader, 7 p.m. tonight, Married with Children tonight on Fox, followed by The Simpsons at 8 p.m. And at 9 p.m., The X-Files. It's solid lineup tonight on Fox.
Speaking of solid lineups, that offensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs has to reestablish itself right now. Green Bay Packers and Fritz Shurmur's defense, the last series kind of dictated. Earlier, they had Greg Hill running inside and outside. Greg Hill right now is in the game, so you have your speed back and your hot hand.
Bono, 7 of 16, 178 yards and a touchdown pass. And here is Greg Hill as the Chiefs start from their worst starting field position, the 10-yard line. Now, the word is that Carter is fine. Dale Carter is all right, but not so for James Hasty, who's you've seen lately trying to stretch that hamstring. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. You mentioned Hill in the game. He has 87 yards, and that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Chiefs 27 and the Packers 13. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station.
You're watching.
Pictures, compliments of the blockbuster video blimp and Captain Steve Tomlin for piloting one of the fastest blimps and providing these beautiful aerials of today's game. Good job, guys.
See this guy up here, look at him up there. He's got his hands. It's cold down here. It must be even colder up there. He's blowing his hands, rubbing them, and he got gloves on.
I would think so.
Getting soft up there in that blimp, I got to tell you. 2nd and 6. Todd McNair on Donnell Bennett, the backs. Good pressure, and here's McNair on the screen pass and wrestled by Wayne Simmons. Boy, they came with a blitz. I'll tell you, Fritz Shurmur he's rolling the bones over there. He's starting to take some chances. They bring Leroy Butler off the corner to force that thing. McNair went hot. The ball came out, and Simmons got beat down the field. 3rd and short coming up for Kansas City. Steve Bono has had problems in the 4th quarter this year. He has the worst passing rating in the AFC this year, 42.6. We're in the 4th quarter. It is 3rd and 1 for the Chiefs on their 19. And the pitch to Marcus Allen, first down. And Allen driven down by George Kuntz, but the Chiefs maintain possession. You know, I was talking to some of the Green Bay Packer defensive staff prior to the game. Marcus Allen's name came up. And I said, how about Marcus? You know, 36 years old, still going. They said, you know what, Marcus Allen is the greatest short yardage and goal line runner I've ever seen. And the man has a sixth sense. He understands how to get it. And again, he has a 50 yards and only on 10 carries, but he will finish off a run every time. Set another record today, his 200th game, most for a running back in NFL history. Hand off to Donnell Bennett. And Bennett gets about a yard. Gabe Wilkins in on the play for Green Bay. It's been Darius Holland and Gabe Wilkins have seen action on the defensive line as
Fritz Shurmur has shuttled in some of the defensive front four.
And it's been a quiet day for Reggie White, who you saw getting up there, which means Ricky Sigler on the other side has played himself a good football game, number 66, along with Will Shields. Now, characteristically, they run away from Reggie White because he's so powerful, but they have gone at him to keep him honest a few times.
Reggie White has only one career sack against the Chiefs, so they've done well against him. 2nd and 9, and here is Bennett turning the corner, and a flag is thrown as Donnell Bennett goes down. Tackled by Newsome.
And Reggie White was out there. And again, they ran right at him, and this one is going to go against the Kansas City Chiefs. You can see the power.
Holding number 85, offense.
It's Reggie Johnson, the tight end.
Repeat the down, 2nd down.
We're going to try to get to the outside. And Reggie Johnson got his hands, but when you run at Reggie White, you better be ready and strap it on, because I want you to watch which way the offense goes. See, it goes backwards. He's forcing that thing upfield. Reggie White makes this play. Donnell Bennett had to go back and then around. Then Newsome is there, and Reggie White finishes the thing off. You have to run at him to keep him honest, but most of the time, teams run the other way.
No tackles today by White. There have been 2 quarterback sacks, both by the Kansas City Chiefs. 2nd down and 19 on the 21-yard line. Drop for Bono, and he completes the pass to Joe Horn. 5th-round draft pick, and he's got a 1st down to the 42-yard line. Another 1st down for the Chiefs. And right now, from McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Hey, Boomer Esiason has been looking pretty good. A couple long passes to Rob Moore, and this the handoff to Larry Centers. Cardinals back within a touch of Washington in the 4th. Most of you will see Dallas at San Francisco. 2nd half of our doubleheader coming your way right here on Fox. Back to Dick and Matt.
All right, JB, looking forward to that big clash out in by the Bay. 21-yard gain on that last pass play to Horn. 1st down on the 42. They go to Horn again, but the pass is out of bounds and covered by Newsome upfield.
You know, Bono's played himself a really good football game. I got to tell you, he's made good decisions. He's thrown the ball down the field when he's had to. Heck, he opened the game with a 69-yarder. You can see the numbers in attempts and completions have not been good, but good decision-making. The last time they just came out and threw that thing outside. That was an audible at the line of scrimmage.
Bono, of course, played under Mike Holmgren when he was the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, and Bono told us yesterday that Holmgren was able to explain things that they could understand, and the two have a terrific mutual respect for one another. 2nd down and 10. On the 42 to Marek Vanover in the game and receiver, and the handoff is to Greg Hill, who has been the star with 3 touchdowns today. Minimal game by Hill with George Kuntz on the stop. Mark Collins, who suffered a knee sprain, his left knee, limbering up and could get back into the game.
Hey, you see him right there, says, yeah, I'm all right, I'm going to be okay. It's funny, when I think injuries, there's a function of the longer you're in the league with how you feel off of an injury. I mean, after about year 4, you automatically, you're going to play no matter what. You know, the guy's hurt, he's going to play.
It's just known.
Just get to know it and understand it.
3rd down and 6. Donnell Bennett trying to get the yardage, has the 1st down. Kansas City on a very impressive drive here, and you can see Fritz Shurmur shaking his head because the Chiefs are getting critical 1st downs here in the 4th quarter. That was good for 9 yards.
They got some nice blocks up front, and Will Shields came up and going to have to take on the force, and he just runs right through it. Newsome right there took a shot by undercutting it, and there was nothing past him. See, really, Newsome's job is to try to turn everything back inside if he can. When you have a 300-pound guy coming at you, that's a tough thing to do.
Look at the difference. Last week, 202 yards. Today, 169. 2 big rushing games for Kansas City. Greg Hill, nothing there, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Last week, Hill gained 100 yards rushing, scored 2 touchdowns. Today, he's approaching the 90 mark on the ground and has scored 3 touchdowns.
Well, and remember, third quarter, start of the third quarter, boom, came right up, blew right up the middle. Since that time, they've kind of taken away that inside for the running game. The reason has been the adjustment made by Fritz Shermer. He's using Leroy Butler more inside, and he's letting him try to fill those open holes. So to counter that, Hackett will probably bounce things outside.
Play fake. Kuntz chasing Bono, and he throws it away. Smart play by Steve Bono, had no one there. And that will bring up 3rd down and 10.
There was nobody there because there was good coverage, and a nice decision of Bono being aware. Again, that's one of those things that don't show up in the stat sheet.
3rd and 10. The Chiefs have done a pretty good defensive job. There's a knee brace on Mark Collins' left knee. They lost both their corners.
Yeah, he's got that new strap on the back, and he's testing it out right now to see exactly what it is. See how his right knee is a lot thinner than his left? That's that brace he has on there.
He wants to get back in there. 3rd and 10. Bono going deep for Horn. And a great defensive play broken up by Craig Newsome. That was picture book defensive play by Newsome on the pass intended for Joe Horn.
Well, he got beat on the first play of the game. He's not going to let it happen again. This time he's going to stay. He's going to give some room. Now Horn has speed. Now you turn and run. Look at the defender. When he looks, you look, which is perfect. Actually, and then he knocks the ball down. I got to tell you, I saw the official drop the hat, which meant that Horn was out of bounds, so that would have been an incompletion anyway, but Newsome played it very well.
Louis Aguiar will kick it away, and Desmond Howard standing on the 10-yard line, and fair catch called for by Howard at the 8-yard line. So Green Bay will start from inside their 10 when we come back.
With the all-new Dodge Dakota, we offer a choice. A torquey Magnum 4 that is not the typical wimpy whiner, a serious high-output Magnum V6, and a real live Magnum V8. The only V8 in its class.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. And by Sprint Business. Thousands of businesses turn to us to help them do more business.
9:49 remaining in the 4th quarter. The Chiefs leading 27-13. They have never trailed in this game. First down for the Packers on their 10-yard line. Brett Favre going to the air, and the pass is caught by Don Beebe, and a first down beyond the 30.
They need that. They need to start stretching this defense because they've not been throwing the ball down the field. And I want you to watch Don Beebe at the end of this play. You think he doesn't remember those shots he's been taking? Watch how fast he gets down.
22 yards on that play.
That ball's perfectly thrown also. It was no kill ball.
On the 32-yard line, Favre goes an out, and unable to hold on to it is Terry Mickens. The degree-hot rookies from Week 10 are New York Giant quarterback Danny Cannell, who led the Giants to a win over Detroit. New England wide receiver Terry Glenn, who helped lead the Patriots to a victory over the Dolphins, and also Baltimore linebacker Ray Lewis. His 86 tackles this season lead the Ravens. Each week, Degree will track the hottest rookies from the NFL.
Boy, that Terry Glenn looks like a real player. Ohio State is just churning out player after player in this league.
Probably have a lot more coming up, too. First and 10 at the 32. Bennett in motion. Favre's gone down for the 3rd time, and that was Neil Smith.
Neil Smith beat Earl Dotson. Remember I talked about Earl Dotson and what a good game he was playing, and a quiet one for Neil Smith. This time he beat him clean. Watch him right up here on the top side. He's going to work the top shoulder, and he gets his weight up top and then clubs him back inside and is able to make that sack. Every time.
Illegal hands
flag
to
was
the
thrown.
face. 34 defense.
And they moved this one on Dale Carter.
It's the second one.
First down.
That flag was thrown on the far sideline, and Carter has hit another defensive penalty.
Well, he's working off of Don Beebe. That's a bad call. I'm sorry, that's a bad call. He hit him, clearly hit him in the shoulder pads with the forearm, never hit him in the face.
Packers lost Doug Evans, a cornerback, who was disqualified early in the game for bumping an official. First down now as a result of the penalty on the Green Bay 37, trailing by 14. Here's Edgar Bennett with a screen up the middle. And a big crowd in front of him. Vaughn Booker made the tackle, but Adam Timmerman was in Edgar Bennett's way.
Well, this Packer offense has not been pushing the ball down the field, but maybe 2 or 3 times. It just hasn't happened. Let's look right here. Beyond 15 yards, look at, he's thrown it beyond only 4 times. He's 2 for 4 beyond 15, and you can see the numbers back underneath. So what does that mean? That means when you're not throwing the football down, you can play your zones a little tighter because they're not pushing it up the field. You play man coverage, you can be a little bit more aggressive, all because you're getting pressure up front and the ball is coming out a little quicker.
Second down and 12. Crowd is a factor here at Arrowhead. And Dorsey Levens on the screen pass. Levens will give the Packers close to first down yardage, maybe just a bit shy at the 46. Tracy Simeon on the tackle.
That Anthony Davis has played himself a good football game. Very active.
They're going to measure, but they appear to be short. But a couple of times on measurements today, the Packers have had the first down by just a piece of the football.
Anthony Davis, he can run. He's very active. You know, he used to be a running back, and I've always maintained that your best linebackers were former running backs because they see everything open up like a running back does. This is 2 screens in a row he's been involved in. So he has pretty good instinct, and he gets to the football really well.
Mike Holmgren coming in with an 8-1 record. Marty Schottenheimer at 6-3. Packers looking to win their division and have home field advantage. And what an advantage that would be up at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Schottenheimer trying to catch Denver, 2 games ahead of him in the AFC West. 3rd and inches on the 46. Favre falls down, but William Henderson gets the first down, fortunately.
Joe Phillips blew up the field and that inside line, and Henderson ran into the back and then had the presence to be able to come back and go the other way and pick up the first down. Watch Joe Phillips right here. She's going to get the push on Winters. Boom, hits him right in the kisser. And then Henderson comes back the other side, and he's able to get the first down. So he gets his foot stepped on. But he has the presence to fall back and stay out of the way.
4 wide receivers, and the pass is to Desmond Howard. Desmond Howard is close to another first down, where we're seeing a lot of Derek Mays and Desmond Howard as pass receivers today. Remember, Shimura has been knocked out with injury, so Packers, they're going more to the wide out on the hurry-up offense here.
Yeah, they're going to the hurry-up, and I like this decision. They need 2 scores. You got 6:50 to go in the game. Now they're going to come in and force them and take a measurement, which will stop the clock. But I like what the Green Bay Packers are doing in terms of how they're running their offense, number one. But more importantly, Dick, there's no quit at all out there.
No, this team, you know, you don't get 8-1, and they only lost to Minnesota for nothing. And all you had to do is see the way they beat the 49ers.
Right. See that was a home team. That's home teamism right there.
Well, the
guy's a homer. Look at that. The chain comes off. So you know what they do? They take that thing and they make it just a little bit longer.
They got it anyway.
Now, if they go the other way, you shorten that chain up. When the Chiefs have the ball, that chain gets shorter. When the Packers have the ball, that chain gets longer.
Very fishy.
Yeah. As you can see, you know, the chains in the National Football League are a real exact science. They just, put it on the other link. Don't worry about it.
Packers today spreading it around as they've had this year. 9 different players have caught passes. Howard was the 9th. First down on the Chiefs 41. Favre with a fake. And his pass was intended for Mickens. Mickens has had problems holding on to it, although Brian Washington was there in coverage, and Mickens is shaken up.
That's a wasted great play by Brett Favre. Mickens is getting up slow. That play that ball had to be caught.
And when you said the Packers need 2 scores, the scores they need are touchdowns.
Absolutely.
Field goals won't do. We will have a timeout, 6:30 remaining in the 4th.
So I pull into the...
Let's hear now the sounds of the game. And Mickens Fortunately, got up and walked off on his own power.
He got up and he'd feel a little bit better had he held on to that ball. That was a hit. I mean, hey, you don't play this game without those things happening to you play after play.
Anthony Morgan, number 84, replaces him on 2nd and 10. Favre dumps it off, and a good play made by Dale Carter on the pass intended for Anthony Morgan. And right now, let's go to the Fox Television Center. An update from our guy, James Brown.
Dick, 32 seconds left in the game. Here was Philly trying to tie it up on 4th down. 17th play of the drive, and Bruce Smith sacks Ty Detmer, 5th sack of the day for Buffalo. Buffalo improves to 7-3. Philly drops to the same record. Dick and Matt.
Looks like Detmer was looking downfield just a little bit too long. He was waiting for something to open, so you have to credit the coverage, which allowed Smith to make that sack.
And that means the Eagles cannot tie the Packers if Green Bay doesn't win for best record in the NFC. 3rd down and 10. Here's Henderson. Henderson gets inside the 35, short of the first down by about 1.5 yards.
And they got to go for it.
Eric Thomas, and there you see Favre looking to the sideline. Clock is running with, now it stops 6:26, and the Packers see the official call a timeout. The Packers do call a timeout.
Yeah, Favre was calling
and that is their first timeout.
Let's go, guys.
Now that Sprint is the official telecommunications provider to the NFL, the teams can do business.
4th down and 2 for the Packers. 6 defensive backs in there for the Chiefs. Green Bay looking for its first conversion on 4th down this season. They are on the Kansas City 33-yard line, and this would be the critical play of the game for the Packers if they're going to try to stage a rally here in the final minutes. Marty Schottenheimer directing the defense from the sideline.
You know what happens? Marty Schottenheimer sees something that he wants everybody to know, but there's nothing you can do. You're standing on the sideline. You just have to hope everybody else sees it.
Packers need 2 yards for the first down. Here's Edgar Bennett. Bennett is not going to make it. Fumble. And Anthony Davis whistled dead, but Anthony Davis stopped Edgar Bennett from getting the first down, and the Kansas City Chiefs take over on downs.
You know why? The only reason he made that is because he can run. I mean, that was just speed versus speed, and Anthony Davis won the battle.
Now they're going to measure, but it appeared that they were short.
Anthony Davis, they start inside and then bounce it outside. They're counting on Edgar Bennett to be able to get to that corner. And Anthony Davis, man, he just ran him down.
You see the marker at the top of your screen and where the ball is spotted.
Now they're short ski.
And you're going to hear the cheers go up.
That was all Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has played himself a really good football game today.
Kansas City defense has played one of its best games of the year today. And a timeout with 6:21 remaining in the 4th quarter. It'll be Chiefs ball.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice pants.
Kansas City Chiefs, after Anthony Davis made a big play on 4th down, take over on offense. 1st and 10 on their 33, leading 27-13. Running up the middle is Greg Hill for a couple of yards.
I want you to watch Anthony Davis and how he uses his speed. Now, not many people can do this. Ball's going to come inside. He goes here and then bounces outside. Watch what William Henderson, the fullback, does. Henderson's going to try to get to his outside corner. Nice angle by Davis, runs through the block and makes the play. Outstanding defense, and Marty Schottenheimer knows it. The other guy who understood it right away was Anthony Davis himself. And when you make a big play, it feels good.
2nd down and 9 at the 34-yard line. Kimball Anders is the running back. Bono rolling out, looking for a receiver, and throws it into the Kansas City bench. talk about the defense today. Marty Schottenheimer went into the defensive meetings that were extended yesterday. He's paid particular attention to the defensive game plan for today.
I think he's been paying particular attention to every game plan. I think Marty Schottenheimer, the way he coaches on the sideline, he must be as tired or more tired than the guys on the field. Heck, he's up and down and in and out. He's screaming all over the place, coaching the O-line, coaching the D-line. That's an involved guy right there.
Chiefs lost only 3 games last year. They have 3 losses already this year. But this could be a big victory if they hold on. 3rd down and 9. Pressure on Bono. Bono is down by Santana Dotson. See if he gets credit for what would be the first sack of the game by the Green Bay Packers. Again, want to remind you, the second half of our Fox doubleheader, and it's a big one. The Cowboys and the 49ers.
It's going to be a big one, obviously. You're going to see if Steve Young is healthy. You're going to see if that offensive line of Green Bay is playing. Can they, of Dallas, can they run against that San Francisco defense?
Aguilar kicking to Desmond Howard. Howard at the 31-yard line. Can't get away and is finally brought down at the 38 by Greg Minuski. That was a 38-yard kick.
You know, we said at the start of this game that Brett Favre was going to have to continue to be the one-man gang. But he has been getting tons of pressure on him all game long. They've sacked him a few times. They've knocked him down a lot of times. Look at this. 4 sacks right here. Hurried the ball 18 times. Knocked down 8 times. He had the interception. Look at this. Forced to scramble 7 times. They've been all over him. And a lot of that, you know, you're going to say, boy, that defensive line, well, it's the coverage. The coverage down the field has dictated everything up front.
5:13 to go in the 4th quarter. First down for the Packers on their 39. Favre, sack, that's number 5, Derek Thomas. And for Thomas, that is his 2nd.
Yeah, well, Ken Rutgers, they brought in to be able to go to this 4-receiver package and go one-on-one with Derek Thomas. And the coverage is going to be, again, outstanding. Look at Hasty get the jam up top. Carter, they're going to run with them. They got people over the top for help. And then on the other side, you got Darren Anderson, 44, working on Anthony Morgan. And when you get a pass rush like this, I want you to watch him. He's going to jump right back inside. He got him working everything upfield, afraid of the speed, and then he came inside.
Loss of 10 yards brings up 2nd and 20. Back on the 29. Again, pressure, and the screen pass to Bennett doesn't work, and that was Neil Smith who came right in strong on Brett Favre that time.
You can see the numbers. It's just not been Brett Favre's day.
Or the Packers' day.
And it has been that Kansas City Chiefs defensive day. And that secondary has been outstanding. And they've been tackling extremely well. Anthony Davis has turned in a tremendous football game.
3rd down and 20. Favre going deep. Tipped away by Carter. Intended for Don Beebe, and that'll bring up 4th down. This crowd is loving it here in Arrowhead Stadium, and Marty Schottenheimer said this man, number 34, Dale Carter, is the best athlete I've ever seen.
And also, they say he's the best cornerback in the league. And they're saying that's inclusive of everybody. And when you watch the way he's played today, the plays he's made athletic like that, you have to agree.
Craig Hendrick will kick. Tamarik Vanover goes back deep. Vanover at the 18. Trying to find running room and none there. Well, at the top of the game, said the Packers have done everything right coming into this game. Today, the Kansas City Chiefs have done everything right. And Vanover is down, injured, and a penalty marker is down.
Hey, that's a nice special teams play by Mike Robinson, 46. You can watch him. He's going to get doubled. They're going to try to beat him up. That's Woods and Willie Stargell inside.
Holding on the return.
And it just keeps on fighting through it. And then at the end, he comes up and makes the tackle.
Will decline the foul on 48 and accept the foul on 49. half the distance.
There were 2 penalties thrown, one on McNair, the other one on
Richardson right there.
Number 49.
You saw both of them running right down. Now that one they ignored on McNair. Richardson, the other end, went up and hit the guy in the back, and that one they took.
Tamarick Vanover is still down for the Chiefs. A lot of the injured players have come back in the game. James Hasty had come back. Collins had not returned. Vanover has had a variety of ailments, which is why he hasn't started at wide receiver. The Chiefs offense, not much respect, but today a different matter, Matt.
I mean, look at this. 0 turnovers. That was big. 6.8 yards per play. First time, look, they ran the football so well, that opened everything else up. And they really have not needed to rely on the pass. And that's what they have to have with this offense. They need Steve Bono to make good decisions. Don't turn the football over.
There's an injured player adjacent to the white border.
They've been working on Vanover, but he was too close to the white border, and so Bob McElwee and his crew spotted that and decided that they were not going to run a play.
So they need Bono. They need Bono to be a mechanic. He doesn't have to win it all by himself. They need to run the football, control the ball, make good decisions out of that quarterback position, and that's what he's done today.
It was interesting. The first play, the 69-yard pass to LaChapelle.
That's a big one.
Set up the field goal, and that kind of told the Packers we can go deep if we want, but it was basically a typical Marty Schottenheimer offensive show.
Sure it is. That's never going to change. Now to give them confidence, too. I mean, you remember after Bono threw that ball, how fired up he was, like looking down like, yes, we can do it. And that's what they had to have. LaChapelle's been big for them. Said he was in construction just a few weeks ago, but he laid the hammer down a couple times here today.
This is going to be, if the score holds up, a huge victory for the Kansas City Chiefs to come back home at Arrowhead, establish their dominance on home ground against the team with the best record in the NFC. Remember, the Chiefs went in trailing Denver by 2 games in the AFC West. Denver playing Chicago in a later start. Bono has completed 9 of 22 for 204 yards and a touchdown. Those are very deceiving.
Yeah, they are. It's because, I'll tell you what he's really done. 6 of his 9 completions were over 20 yards, so they had big plays. And then he's made a lot of good decisions just throwing the ball away when he's had pressure.
Todd McNair on the carry for a short gain. Let's take a look at what's upcoming for the Chiefs. They have 3 tough road games the rest of the way against Detroit, Oakland, and Buffalo.
I mean, nothing's going to be easy for them, but this was a huge win for them today. If, in fact, they get the win with a little over 4 minutes to go, because they needed confidence, and they needed to be able to put a complete game together back-to-back, and they were able to get that done.
2nd and 7 on the 14. Anders and Bennett now in the backfield for Kansas City. And Donnell Bennett, good, strong rusher out beyond the 20, may have a first down. Gabe Wilkins on the tackle, and let's go back. We just referred to it. First offensive series for Kansas City.
It's rare because it's the very first play offensively. But what it did was it set a tone, and it gave them confidence, and it said, we can do this if we have to. And they came back, and again, that was the first big play down the field, and then 5 more after that, over 20 yards for Bono, and that's kind of uncharacteristic. They've been able to throw the ball deep and make some big plays.
First down, Kansas City. Marcus Allen has gained 48 yards on 10 carries, but it's been Greg Hill, the changeup guy, as you talked about last week, who gained 100 yards last week, 93 yards, and 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 as a receiver. So as you look at LaChapelle's numbers, Greg Hill again came up big off the bench for the Chiefs.
I wonder what kind of construction he was in. Receivers can't do heavy construction. Receivers, you know, they probably maybe do some insulation work or something like that, but they ain't whacking with too many nails. Too many nails, let me tell you.
1st and 10 at the 21. Here is Donnell Bennett. Maybe he was the guy to screw in the light bulbs.
Probably handing people stuff. He's probably mud. You know, he's kind of got that wiry kind of build, you know, with it make the best mud man. That guy, he no mudder. He didn't have to be today. Field's in good shape, and he ran really well.
Greg Hill with a fine all-round game and 3 touchdowns, giving him 5 TDs in the last 2 games. Timeout called by the Packers. Here are the games that are upcoming in the second half of our Fox doubleheader. Most of you will see the 49ers and the Cowboys. They are underway, no score in the first quarter, as the 49ers 7-2 against Dallas 5-4, and the Niners come in undefeated at 4-0 at home. There's the lineup, the other games.
Boy, that Denver Bronco team is playing really well, aren't they? You know, I got to tell you, talk about the Denver Broncos and John Elway and how well he's playing, and he has some help with that Terrell Davis. But I watched this Green Bay Packer team with Brett Favre, and they remind me offensively very much of John Elway in the mid-'80s, when he really didn't have much help around him, and he was literally all they had.
You saw that in the film. Everyone agreed with you yesterday. Marty Schottenheimer, Mike Holton said, yes, you're right. He's Elway of the 80s. Second down and 9. Not today, however. Here is Bennett using up the clock. Well, Marcus Allen needing a touchdown to break Walter Payton's touchdown record. And how about his first? You would know about it, Matt.
Yeah, it was in San Francisco. It was his rookie year. We were on the sideline, and we had this young rookie Heisman Trophy winner from USC. We knew that he was tough. We didn't know exactly what he was going to be like, but boy, we knew in a hurry that Marcus Allen was something special. And we also knew that he wore those long, ugly socks, and a lot has changed since that time. So he knew that was a thing then, but look, this is it now. See, now he goes with the standard uniform. Before, he used to wear those white things all the way up to here. He used to think it made him look faster. Don't matter anymore. He'll finish off a run, and he's as tough as nails, that guy.
Well, the one record, all he had to do is step on the field. He broke Mosi Tutupu's mark for most games played by a running back. This was his 200th game. His next catch will break Roger Craig's record for most receptions by a back. And, of course, he's tied with Walter Payton for the most rushing touchdowns in a career. But he'll break those other 2 for sure. Third down and 8 for the Chiefs. They're on their 23 with 2:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. Flag is down, and Kimball Anders gaining. The Packers used up another timeout, and they are out of timeouts.
And they're going to get a penalty, and this is probably going to go against Green Bay, which will bring up 3rd and about 3.
Defense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
That's exactly right. 3rd down and about 3. 2:43 showing on the clock.
Yeah, Marty Schottenheimer saw that flag right away. Yeah, and he knew it right away. Look, he stood there. 1, 2, 3, 4. He got perfect. He's looking at it. He's trying to measure. He's talking to the people upstairs. He's saying, how long is that exactly going to be? No, looks like about 2.5, maybe 3.
3rd and 3 for the Chiefs following the penalty. Donnell Bennett. And he is stopped short. That will bring up 4th down.
And you look at that offense for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're gonna punt it away now. But if you're gonna hand out game balls, you got to look at Greg Hill. But more important than that, you have to look at that offensive line. Will Shields and Dave Zott run hard in the middle. The outside at Criswell, 69, and on the other side, Ricky Sigler, 66. All played themselves really good football games. They were consistent. They were able to do it through the whole first half and into the 3rd quarter. And they're the difference in this football game.
Our 2-minute warning here at Arrowhead Stadium. We'll be right back.
My sister did without for years to make this business work. Some morning she'd wake up, her back felt ready for a wrecking ball. She'd take 2 Tylenol, but hours later, pain had come back. She'd have to take more. She couldn't take it any longer. So her doctor said try a leave.
I could take just 2 Aleve all day. With Tylenol, I was taking up to 8.
So she tried Aleve. Keeps her pain away up to 12 hours.
It's meant a great deal to her. Who did your hair?
Aleve.
All day strong, all day long.
Now you can do your banking from home with the world's #1 selling home computer with Intel Pentium processor. Packard Bell. Wouldn't you rather be at home?
Foot action. To me, foot action is working my game. Until I can take my own shadow. Foot action is also where you find the latest basketball shoes from Reebok, like the Aftershock. For every action, there's foot action.
At this hospital, patients check in, but they don't check out. Don't miss a brand new...
Back here in Kansas City, the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs in front 27-13. Louis Aguiar will kick, and Desmond Howard back deep for the Packers. Trailed by 2 touchdowns and are out of timeouts. Coming in to attempt to block it. Ball bounding, and Desmond Howard will let it roll, and it will stop inside the 30-yard line. So the Packers will take over. Today's game is being produced by Richard Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. Our associate director is Larry Lancaster, and the broadcast associates are Greg Scopatoni and Matt Lip. And another sterling job done by our Fox technical crew here at Arrowhead Stadium. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
Now, did you notice that in the last 2 years, our producer has gone from Richie Zients to Richard Zients?
More formal.
That's a big step. I think so. You know, I always dog him all the time. Here's our next producer right here.
Shot full of arrows. First down on the 26. Favre up the middle, and Morgan can't hold on to it. Incomplete. Favre is 23 of 44 now for 256 yards. Well, the Packers will be going against the Dallas Cowboys
on a Monday night
next week, and that's been an Achilles heel for Green Bay. They have not been able to beat the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, and they're going to have that opportunity next week. And see the 49ers up on a field goal over Dallas 3-0.
See, they're unbeaten at home, also 4-0.
Anthony Morgan shaken up for the Pack, and you'll send you to that game for those who are getting this game as soon as we are finished. We have 1 minute and 43 seconds remaining.
First quarter score. Green Bay Packers will get on a plane, and they will be rooting so hard for the Dallas Cowboys. And I got a feeling they do not want to play the San Francisco 49ers with that defense again. They'd like to see them only if they have to in the championship game.
Well, keep in mind that if the Packers do wind up with the same record as both the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay still would have home field advantage because they have beaten both the 49ers and the Eagles in head-to-head confrontation. But that kind of a way off now with several weeks remaining in the regular season. Green Bay will drop to 8-2, and the Chiefs will go to 7-3 if this game holds.
Well, Cincinnati's really coming on, aren't they? They made that.
Oslet.
Yeah, he's done it. He hasn't played very well.
Bears lead the Denver Broncos 3-0. Your old team, the Raiders, are in an overtime matchup with the Buccaneers, tied at 17. Jets gave the New England Patriots a scare before the Patriots capitalized 31-27. Anthony Morgan shaken up, and we'll take a look at the play in which he was injured.
Favre's waiting on him. You see he's clearing right in the back of your screen, top right. Ball should have been caught, wasn't. He got bent back there by Martin Bayless, 21.
Morgan wearing number 84, which was the number worn by Sterling Sharp Morgan had wanted his old number back, number 81. But Desmond Howard wouldn't give it to him. So then he went for 84, which was the number worn by Sharp.
I never got that number thing. Who cared? Just whatever they give you, just be happy to get out there on the field. Who cares what your number is? Chiefs today played very, very well. I mean, they're playing so well, they're dancing in the stands. Greg Hill offensively gave them the spark with a changeup. And offensive line came and really turned in a very solid game. Criswell, Zott, Grunhard, Shields, Ricky Sigler gave up 1 sack. They ran the football very, very well, controlled the clock, 2 touchdowns, and tell you, Art Shell's offensive line turned in a tremendous game. And Art Shell, whose name I hear coming up for head coaching possibilities again, and should be.
Greg Hill scored 3 touchdowns, an 8-yard run, a 34-yard catch, and then a 24-yard run on the first play following a Brett Favre fumble. Kansas City Chiefs never trailed today. Closest the Packers got was a 3-3 tie after 1 quarter. But the Chiefs ran away, and they defeated the Green Bay Packers soundly today. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was no area in which the Chiefs did not have the measure of the Pack, who have some disappointed fans. Going back, this fan with a very timely chart. Next Sunday, we'll have a big matchup in the NFC East when the Washington Redskins battle the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles losing to Buffalo today, so the Redskins, with a victory, they're up 34-27 in the 4th quarter over the Cardinals. Could have that 1-game lead in the NFC East. The Giants and the Cardinals next week, among other games. That's the slate coming up on Fox next Sunday. Well, Anthony Morgan still being tended to.
There's 2 guys from the World League last year.
Scottish Claymores?
Yeah, both of them. Matthews on the left, the quarterback, and Sean LaChapelle, who had himself a nice game here today. 2 receptions.
Morgan is up. That's good. Hey, Carl Peterson
done a good job with
big
that league.
Supporter of the World League. And I'll tell you what, he has a bunch of players from the World League that have helped the Chiefs. So Morgan leaves. Derek Mays will replace him. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Packers on the 26. Good deal of this crowd.
They got to go up here. They got to get started. I mean, you know, you look at it and say, you know what, there's still a chance to win this football game.
143. You're right, though, especially with Favre going up top. And the pass is incomplete. Beebe was the intended receiver. William White was waiting for the ball to get to him. But Beebe deflected off of the wide receiver.
Heck, it hit him in the gut. Should have been caught. There's 1 interception today, but there are 3 potential ones. All 3 of them involved Don Beebe. Beebe hits the other gear. And again, that's a nice job by Beebe. He flashed him
3 times today. Yeah. He's done that.
He flashed him across the face, and it hit White right in the gut.
There's Carl Peterson, the president of the Kansas City Chiefs. To run the old Gold Stars of Washington and Philadelphia, the USFL. 3rd down and 10, and the pass bobbled and caught by Keith Jackson, who immediately runs out of bounds and stops the clock with 1:27 to go after a pickup of 16 yards. And the ball at the 41-yard line of Green Bay.
You know, it's easy to say that they have to push the ball down the field, but the Kansas City Chiefs aren't going to allow them to. They're keeping their safeties back, and they're not going to let it happen. Bayless got his hand on that thing, incidentally, and a nice job of concentrating on that juggle ball right there. So Favre's going to have to throw it as deep as he can underneath those deep safeties.
First down on the 27. Swings it out to Bennett. Minimal game and out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:22. But the Packers are up to their 45-yard line. Dale Carter knocked Bennett out of bounds. Game in which Carter and James Hasty shaken up at one time or another. Mark Collins was also injured. Mark Shimura went out for the Packers, and they lost Doug Evans, their starting quarterback. who was kicked out of the game after bumping an official protesting a call in the first quarter. There's Collins, who never got back in the game. 2nd and 7 for the Packers with 4 wide receivers. Favre dumps it off to Dorsey Levens. Levens gets into Kansas City territory, and down the sideline he goes. Dorsey Levens is knocked out of bounds. The official goes flying by William White. I tell you, Levens, I think the Chiefs thought he was going to go out of bounds, and he never did.
Well, he wanted it. He headed in that direction, and then all of a sudden he saw it open up, and heck, he just took off.
Why not?
Right down that side. And watch, Favre just going to try to get him out of bounds. And watch the effort of Levens to make these guys miss. Now get outside, and then Keith Jackson gives him a block right there on Washington. He outruns Bayless, and William White, because of the angle, is able to knock him out of bounds, or that's 6 points. I want you to watch right here, right at the end, right there.
49-yard gain. 1st and goal on the 6-yard line. And a mix-up as Favre, getting big pressure, throws an incompletion. Neil Smith coming in on Favre. Pass was intended for the tight end, Keith Jackson. Favre's numbers, he's over 300 today, but he'll take a win anytime. And the Packers down by 14 points, out of timeouts, 1:06 remaining. You know, if they score, hey, they got the onside kick.
And they're only 1 play away with Brett Favre.
2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Favre with a fade to Henderson, touchdown.
Great catch. David Mays was right there.
Derek Mays with the touchdown catch
over Darren Anderson.
And they said in the red zone they wanted to go to the rookie from Notre Dame, his first NFL touchdown reception.
Now they're going to Favre's going to throw this ball so that Mays can come back and use, look at that concentration, a one-hander. That is a great catch. He uses all of his body, goes up over the top of Darren Anderson, comes down one hand, 6 points.
Well, he said he was going to go his way in the red zone, and they did, and he delivered. The extra point by Jackie is good, and now it's a 7-point game. Hey, 27-20 in the onside kick coming up.
Absolutely. They get this onside kick, and there's going to be a lot of nails to be bitten in this Kansas City Chief organization. Favre sees it, has the matchup he wants, puts that ball where Mays can make the catch and make a play on it, really. He kind of underthrows it, but Mays comes back, and heck, he has one ball and one head.
Darren Anderson's head. So now the Packers were able to score without timeouts. And now they're going for the onside kick. There's Nolan Cromwell. And the success ratio, 22% in the NFL for onside kicks. 5 for 23, the Packers.
First quarter score, Denver 7, Chicago 3.
And all of the people who can field the football come up front. There's Sean LaChapelle.
Yeah, that's your hands team.
Yes.
Now you take all your guys who have the best hands, who you trust, and you put them up there.
Richardson, McNair.
And then on the other side, what you do is you take some good hands, and then you need some thumpers. And those thumpers have to go down there and take out interference to allow your hands guys to come in from behind and get the ball if it's available.
1:02 on the clock. Chris Jackie. And Hendrick, flag is down. Instead of Jackie, it was Hendrick who attempted the kick left, but a flag was down. And let's see, Kimball Anders had fallen on it. Penalty appears to be against the Packers.
Offside, 32 of the kicking team.
That's Travis
They'll
Jervey.
decline that penalty.
Penalty is declined, and the Kansas City Chiefs land on the ball and will cinch the game.
Yeah, you can see right there is Travis Jervey, and he jumped the count.
A little overzealous to try to get to the ball.
I mean, he's a lot of zealous to get the ball. That's about a 4-yard zealousness right there. And then McNair, they were lucky because McNair came up and hit off his chest, and but that'll do it.
Yep, yeah, they're going to just sit on it.
Kansas City Chiefs will prevail.
So the Chiefs had a little breath holding at the end. Under a minute to go, and the Packers cannot stop the clock.
Washington got tied up. It's in overtime, 34 all.
We want to tell you as soon as we are finished here, and that we have 40 seconds to go. Second half of our doubleheader. Many of you will see the 49ers and the Cowboys underway right now. Packers' 5-game winning streak will come to an end. And the Chiefs will have won their second in a row. They'll go 7-3. The Packers 8-2. And that'll be the last play of the game. So the Kansas City Chiefs defeat Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. Final score 27-20. Cowboys 49ers for most of you coming right up. For Matt Millen, Dick Stockton saying so long from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home of the Stanley Cup, World Series, and Super Bowl 31.